Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today is a special day because we are talking about, let's just say, a very epic show match here between none other than, let's be real, some names that we've seen already, Sziky, OyA, but a new guy, WolFix, and all of them European StarCraft 1 pros. To me, that screams epic. And here to scream with me is Neblime. How you doing, son?
I'm doing good. Despite how it sounds, I am keen to do some screaming today.
There you go.
These plays better make scream. You know what? It's going to be like one of two kinds of screaming. Like, my God, that's epic. Or like, my God, what are you doing? Because even though they're pros in Brood War, they're still finding their feet in Cosmonarchy. And anything can happen. There's a lot of potential for like random sort of, I don't know if mistakes is the right way to put it. Unforced errors, if you like. Anything of that sort. But yeah, they're very high-level players. This is very exciting. And I can't wait to see like sort of how things shake out. We already know there's like one player sort of standing above the rest here because Sziky here has played so many games of Cosmonarchy. He seems fully into it. The other two, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, it's worth pointing that out. Like, we can talk just about Sziky for a little bit here because this man has been representing Cosmonarchy at one of the highest levels of play that we've seen. Not just because he's a pro, but because he grinds a lot. He plays so much. He ends up doing so much, and I think that's super cool. In my opinion, this is the kind of guy that we were hoping to be able to rope in, is somebody who just plays it in his spare time. He signs up for the tournaments even when there's no guarantee of prize pool or prize winnings. He's not just here to get that easy 20 for showing up and $10 every time you win, although you do end up getting that in this show match. And so, listen, I respect the pros to give their time and play the game, and they practice up for it. They want to show good games. It's not just about the money. It's not life-changing money anyway, but the bottom line is Ziky's been grinding even when there isn't money on the line, just because he enjoys the game. For the love of the game, as they say. And so he is a very cool guy in my book. You can see that his favorite unit was the Mutalisk when he first signed up. I actually don't know if he's changed his mind on that for Cosmonarchy specifically. We'll have to wait and see. But he does end up still going for Mutas sometimes. And you were talking earlier about one of the aspects of these players is that they are still finding their feet compared to StarCraft 1. Well, I think Sziky definitely has. He used to be doing these hatch first stuff way more, and I think while it is exploitable, it would be super cool if it ended up being a more standard build that people could actually play. But Sziky has changed his tune, and he is going for a very well optimized one-base strat that actually nobody else is doing. We'll talk more about that when we get to his games, because he's actually decided that the first matchup will be with OyA and WolFix. So let's talk a little bit about them. Do you have memories, distinct memories of our Swedish Protoss, Neblime? Do you recall how he narrowly edged out Sziky in that very first show match they played, show match number 1, all the way back before I went on my vacation mid-July? Because OyA kind of hit the ground running, not unlike how Bonif did in the show match that you joined me for as well 2 weeks ago. So what do you reckon about OyA? He's been pretty inactive, but he did play a couple of games now. You think he's got a chance here?
Well, as you say, he's definitely sort of showed the potential to sort of think about Cosmonarchy and adapt without really too much trouble, really. Like, you didn't see anything when he played where you're just like, oh, when he plays the monster war, do that differently. Like, no, it all sort of like made its own sense. It was like, okay, he's trying this, that, or the other. So yeah, I think he's very adaptable for sure. But can you really compare to Sziky, who I feel like, I don't know if this is true, but it feels like just playing Cosmonarchy, you know? I don't know how much Brood War he's still playing, because I always see him in there looking for games and stuff. So, to be honest, no, I can't really rate him the same. I'll be surprised if he took it. But, I mean, in Brood War, still, like, a very strong player. You know, none of these players, have a BSL title to their name, but nonetheless, they've been, like, up in the top echelons of Pro League.
That's right,
into, like, top 4 and so on. So, they're definitely all, like, contenders for sure in like, BSL and so on. So, it's hard to say. They come in sort of at their own skill level, like originally, but you can't discount the like amount of advantage like just having practiced a lot in Cosmonarchy will give you.
That's right. And in terms of who's got the most versus who's got the least, it's Sziky, it's OyA in the middle, and as far as that practice goes, I have to say WolFix did have a couple of days of practice. He played against the AI, he played against some players, and he's coming in as our debutant, our player who has not participated in a show match, the Terran from Poland, and he is rocking out here. He's basically like flying by the seat of his pants a lot of the time. He likes what he's seeing, but he did say, listen, the amount of units in this game, you really need to spend some time to learn, and I agree with that. So a little bit of an overwhelming variety of choice and trying to navigate all the different options. Because at first, you're trying to put your pro brain onto things, and you got really good mechanics, but are you going to have the good selection of targets, a selection of units to grab, that kind of stuff? So what's your composition going to look like? I think that's where we're going to see the biggest gap in between some of these players who've been grinding a lot versus whether they haven't. We'll know if they're up to date, not just on what our meta is, because our meta is going to look different than the pro meta. The homegrown Cosmonarchs are not pro-level players on a mechanical level, but they do have their own ideas of what's good and what's bad based on the people who play a lot. And I think that Sziky's the most steeped in that, but he also has those mechanics. In theory, he should be the one to win, and WolFix maybe coming in as a bit of an underdog, but it's going to be some PvT, OyA versus WolFix for our first matchup. It's going to be a very fun time here. And as a reminder, guys, we do start everybody off at $20 for that round of, initial information, initial funding for them. That's what they get for showing up. And then they get $10 a win. So the fact that Sziky selected the other two to fight, it kind of shows a little bit of restraint. I thought maybe he'd be like, yeah, put me in, I'll get my $90, thanks. No, or $110 for winning every single match, and we're going for 11 matches here. So the idea that, Sziky walks in and just takes everything was kind of what I thought might happen. But, he wants to give something to one of the other guys, so that's interesting. He's also going to check their level and, have a debut here with WolFix. Show him some what Protoss is like in Cosmonarchy. I don't know if you guys caught that, but WolFix's favorite unit, I put it as the Didact with a question mark. He actually wrote that the StarCraft 1 Arbiter is his favorite unit, Kappa. So I think he doesn't like Protoss. I think that's what that means. No.
He's like, screw your mod, I choose Brood War units.
Well, he did ask me, is this supposed to be a Cosmo unit? I said, well, it could be a StarCraft 1 unit if you don't have a favorite one. And even then, it's clearly not his favorite. He's just, he's got a little shit talking to him, about noob toss, casting recall so hard, that kind of thing.
Well, I got to shout out WolFix, by the way, for all the work he does coaching in CPL. Definitely one of the more active coaches there. But, despite what I just said, I guess I'm going to go back a little and say, well, out of the three, if you're in like a Brood War match, I would say WolFix is like a little behind the other two. So I guess he's definitely the underdog here. But if he watched the last one and saw Ultra dominate, I mean, you talked about compositions. I think he knows what he must do.
That's right. It's all bio all the time. I don't know, though. I mean, it's really hard to tell a Terran StarCraft 1 Pro versus Protoss to make bio. It's really hard to make that leap in your head. And, in the same way that we have the Zerg players, you have to tell them so many times to make more workers than in StarCraft 1, and it takes a while for them to figure it out. Like, that was true with, like, Keen, back when he was playing Little Chava, if people know that ID. Obviously, for a while, AOT had that as well. And then,
he plays very, like, macro-style Zerg as well.
Right, yeah. And so that's the kind of thing that makes you think, damn, okay, well, I guess I got to play this differently. It's a different kind of game. Well, listen, it's also true for that, and I have a feeling that, whether WolFix goes for bio opener into mech, is going to be a different story, but we are getting ready for our match, ladies and gentlemen. Potidaea is our first map selected by OyA, so let's get into things and see where we go. In the bottom right, WolFix is here, rocking out, having a good time. Perhaps he will. He is our, oh man, this is such a hard color, Mahogany? Chestnut Terran, with OyA in the top left as our Palatinate Blue Protoss.
I can't believe how hard OyA was APM spamming. WolFix is like chilling at 50. So I know, is OyA nervous? WolFix just like, this is fine. He's going to make his stockade. I mean, okay, there's two ways to look at this. Either, yes, he knows he can go bio, or, oh no, he doesn't know that he doesn't have to make a stockade first. So we'll find out which it is. But I expect he probably like watched the Ultra games and he's just going to make Eidolon. OyA, of course, we know sort of in a manner of speaking knows what he's doing. It is going to be that gateway. I do think the lattice first is sort of a dead art. I'm not a fan of it these days. Here we go. Double stockade. Oh, he knows.
Okay. All right. We're seeing it in action before us, before our very eyes. It's 2 stockade, 2 gate. Now, there's been a new PvZ build that's been happening lately that has been really interesting to me, because I feel like the way that I'm seeing the action play out in PvZ, or TvZ, is there's been people going, Ramen, Dog, a few others have been doing Stockade, Maverick, Expand, and then just making like 6 Mavericks and Cyprians, triple Stockade, and then they do a really mass Expand style. So I thought maybe WolFix would try something sort of like that if he's been super on the level. Super fast Vestry after 1 Maverick. What's going on here, folks?
Well, this takes me back because, back in the day, this used to be what you do, right? You'd even wall your ramp, especially against Protoss. You get those Mavericks and Clerics out, some Hurricanes maybe. So, I don't know, this is like kind of old school as far as Cosmonarchy goes. I don't think WolFix probably knows this. He's probably just like, well, in Brood War, medics are pretty good, so let's give it a go. But it bodes well for him that he knows that he needs to get that add-on. He already clearly has a build played. Cyprian coming out. Ooh, let's see what he gets.
Okay, a Cleric and a Cyprian. That's interesting. So we do have the 2 gate out of here for OyA. He's got his Hierophant as his first combat unit. He's switching into Dracodons. This is potentially a very bad case for our homie here who's going bio. But Cyprians can trade early on, and it does seem like that's a situation for the Hurricanes to help out as well. So...
yeah, this is the sort of like sleeper hit, I guess, if the Cyprians actually have been very powerful in defense recently. Because Mavericks and bunkers, I feel like it doesn't even matter how many bunkers you have. Oh, sorry, anchors, I should say. The Dragons will kind of just not care about them, but Cyprians seem to have the damage where they can really punish any sort of poking. And like this Hierophant, for example, we're going to see take a lot more damage than it would if it was all Mavs. But he's already ready. He's already ready for it, but if there's any way to slay that down, Terran does not have this ancient technology.
No, not at all. We are getting a little bit of lag here. Do you want to try spectating the stream instead? See if that works out. I have a Discord stream going, so
of course
should fix the lag. Yeah, looks like it normalized, but of course it could also be a routing thing. We have this very epic technology called Crown Link. It's like our version of Shield Battery in terms of the networking. Not yet in terms of all the lobby stuff, but eventually maybe. The bottom line is that we do have access to a lot more. A lot smoother gameplay on usual, but that was USA, 2 Europeans, and Australia, so a classic one.
Yeah, to be honest, it worked a lot better than I thought it would, because we were only on high. I'm going to restart the stream for me, it's not really working properly.
Okay, sure. I can see if I can do that for you real quick while we
I am watching the stream at 10 seconds or so behind. I'm like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Well, he's getting that 4th Stockade. I mean, again, it feels like he definitely has a plan, so it bodes well.
Yeah, it does. It's interesting because the Nexus is already finishing up here for OyA. We do obviously have double lattice as well, so that's that's curious.
I don't know how to feel about it. Kind of like lattice in general, but I feel like versus bio, it's kind of a dead loss. Now, if you just have a whole bunch of idols or something, get the right arc, maybe they can deal with Mavs. But I feel like against the other 2 units, the Cyprian and the Hurricane, there's nothing from the lattice that really is going to do you any favors. Now, it's a pretty good setup here. I don't think the Bulwark was the choice there. It's good to see these Cosmonarchy, unique sort of things, but I don't think it's going to be as helpful as, say, a Matrix would have been. It is mostly Cyprians. I mean, if he gets a good arc, I feel like there's no way WolFix can attack in here. But if he sits in a clump, you never know what can happen. The Hurricanes, especially, getting a little bit of shredding in can make a huge difference.
Well, look at this. I mean, we are talking about 6 Drac, 2 Hyro. The Bulwark will help with the shields. Every 2 seconds, another 10 shields. And the idol is out as well, so for a little bit of splash damage, not really that much. My biggest concern is how do you take this engagement as the Terran? It's not like you can set up behind some Phalanx or anything. So Hurricanes are going to try their best at rending some of that armor. Focus Fire does get some good shields damage down there. Yeah, penetrating a couple of those. But now the Hurricanes are all dead. Hold on, the Cyprian count is still being focused down here by OyA, but he is in some trouble here. And the Mavericks are stimming across. Reinforcements coming in. The Bulwark goes down. Still opportunities
not the correct
here.
micro from OyA. Not realizing he needs to pull back individual units. I mean, the idols will take their toll, and you can see they deal with the Mavericks, but the Cyprian's going to do so much damage. The Clerics are stepping too far forward. What are they doing? And it looks like they will clean this up.
They were kind of body blocking the idol shots for a moment there, but yeah, the Cyprians here are just going to end up cleaning it up.
Yeah, so it was definitely better than it could have been for WolFix, but you can see it's too hard to attack in with Cyprians against Drax, right? They sort of can manage. But it was costly, and I mean, that's the thing about bio. You can sort of spam out these same units, so WolFix should be able to hold here. I don't think he's making an anchor. What is that in production right now?
That is a quarry coming up. So yeah, he is trying the treasury quarry build, and I am really critical of this versus anything aggressive in the early game. I feel like this can fall down so easily. Now, with the Mavericks coming out to reinforce and OyA overextending for that last cleric, he ends up trading a Drac for it. Not great, but he did hunt down all of the other bio stragglers, as far as I know. Obviously, Cyprians take forever to make it happen. And yeah, there's the Matrix, right?
I imagine he's like, God damn it, this fucking bulwark sucks. I'm not making that because it's just not the tool for this job, you know.
That's right.
But he's getting set up. Ooh, the gas caps. All right. Only in the natural though. Ooh, that's we need a term for some kind of like blunder that like. Oh my god, they're both doing it. Surely WolFix is getting him in the main. No.
No.
Oh gosh.
Not yet. It doesn't look like he wants that income. He wants that steady income instead. This is a map, by the way, where you do need the extra worker on the ridge because it's so far away. That's not something that we see the players doing. It looks like OyA has figured it out, but he's also going to go ahead and cap them in the main base.
Once you get the cap, I feel like it's worth it anyway, right?
Yeah, absolutely. For sure.
Ooh, idle worker.
Tisk.
Who is this OyA guy? Does he even know how to play StarCraft? Okay, there we go. He assigned
He figured it out. He figured it out. So we do have a couple Zealots coming in. I feel like those can throw a wrench in the works, especially since WolFix has not reinvested in any Hurricanes. It's really a heavy amount of Cyprians here, but they are both kind of ships in the night right now, aren't they?
That is a lot of Cyprians. How do you even engage that? You know, I was saying the Lattice is no good, but I mean, a few Golems would do pretty well against that, I feel. Well, I say a few, but you need a lot. They're expensive. Look, here he comes. He's going to get the Arc. No? Oh, my God. You're right. They are ships in the night.
Yeah, they don't know anything about where they are. Third base coming up here for OyA as he shuts down an attempt at a Talos. It was just idly positioned there for the third. The real third is coming up with that Mason. Of course, a little bit off center, a classic move. And now WolFix is going to try to get into a position, but there's some free pot shots being taken. The Zealots are not long for this world. As soon as they take a couple shield points of damage and go back down to hull, they have one less armor. And you can see the Cyprians shredding the idols. There's no real front line here for OyA, so he needs to be very scrappy with his army. Guerrilla style almost, just kind of diving in and diving out. Some Zealots coming in. This is a little bit better now, but WolFix does have some Hurricanes to reinforce, and yeah, these units just need to get the hell out of dodge. Third base coming up with 2 Matrixes to support it. A Positron makes itself known, and an Acantor on the way after. So I do think Positron styles trade favorably into some bio styles, but the Cyprian does do very, very well if the Positron is ever left alone. It's not very durable. 150 net health with only 2 armor. It's about as durable as a Dracodon, which haven't really been favored so far. Well,
you know what this is? This is sort of like poor man's Savant, I suppose, because he has like the heavy concentration in one spot of all the Cyprians. You know, that makes it hard to engage. Like you say, with stuff like Positron isn't necessarily going to be that good. I think a Cantor will still manage. You know, the new Cyprians, I say new, they haven't changed that recently, but newish, are decent against the Cantors as long as you're sort of microing. I gotta say, OyA is not really managing to get the right arc so far. I feel like he's not adapted for like the Cosmonarchy specific micro he needs. He's got that Envoy Cantor though. And you can fit a Positron in there. I didn't even know that. All right.
I just got some ideas. So just to give you guys a little bit of inside baseball here, OyA did message me after the Showmatch versus Sziky that he was having a hard time like right-clicking transports onto units, and if the units were moving the other way, the unit wouldn't necessarily join in. Now, I did fix that to make it so that the transports will much more smoothly pick up units, even if they're moving away. So he might be like feeling that now and like, oh, wait, yeah, Pronago did that bug fix. Hell yeah. He's going to come in and, you know, maybe go for some raid. There's nothing here for WolFix. He's going for the 1 Fulcrum Palladium. He wants to just add a couple of extra phalanx to his operation, and he has made the Covenant for Eidolon. His army size looks pretty good. If he
I don't know if you want
to attack
phalanx with this. Does that like make sense? Because theoretically, you just want more Eidolons. I don't really see what the phalanx adds that the Eidolons don't. Well, hang on a minute. Here he comes. He's dropping in. First shot takes out a couple poor Masons. Never really saw it coming. Positron, I mean, is just softening them up for next time. I guess, well, hang on, he got a couple, all right.
Yeah, he's going to give chase. He also will see, I mean, he could try to blow up that Covenant, but it's only the one Acantor, so probably not.
I mean, does he realize, like, how valuable that would be? I feel like he probably doesn't have a concept of that. Because it would slow down production so much. I mean, WolFix does not have that much gas anyway, but still, it would be worthwhile. But yeah, he does retreat. It would have been hard to pick that off, I think, before the Eidolons did their work.
Oh, look at this intercept, though. Look at that.
Oh, no.
He's actually going to catch him. Oh, just barely slipped away.
Are you kidding me?
Couple Anseals out already as well. Well, OyA's got a big bank right now. He definitely, we saw him select his Nexus, but I guarantee you that was just on a control group. He has to actually set his rallies or whatever. Now, this one random Cyprian's actually going to come up here and see top right.
Yeah, he would greatly benefit from just spamming out a lot of golems. He is making a few now. All right, there comes the prostration stage, even double. And, you know, Sycophants are actually not bad in this situation. I assuming the gas would not be going to Pariahs. I feel like it's not the best use of the gas.
Oh, the whole army is out of position. Hold on. Now we're going to see the Terran engage into this third base. There's a couple of Cantors, and they're going to get hooked up on these Matrixes, but they might still be able to take a much more favorable army engage if OyA inappropriately comes down here, right? Now, they're balling up. The Eidolon count pretty low still, only 5.
Oh yeah, Terran needs to get the hell out of here. This looks very dangerous. The idols actually do provide sort of a dense splash field, and there's not enough Hurricanes to sort of, you know, buffer for that. And this high ground defense is going to be very hard for Eidolons to deal with. I mean, probably need more witnesses around here, but like you said, the Eidolon count is really not there yet. And, you know, OyA's doing a good job sort of keeping up on expansions. Even technically, like we were just talking about, the prostration is looking very good. And it feels like WolFix does not really have any means to engage. He needs to sort of get the Eidolon count, sort of be more patient, sort of like poking away. Because the Arcandles are warding him off if he tries to attack properly. And most of his army is these Cyprians, which have to be revealed, very vulnerable to Arcandles.
Yeah, OyA definitely looking like he's in control of this game right now because WolFix is playing into his hand, attacking these fortified positions. Akantor's already in the spot. Many over at the third base. Ramp gives that +1 weapon range shooting down. You don't get a penalty for shooting up it. And that's, I guess, what the Phalanx are supposed to help with. Slowly ranking down these sort of static defense options, forcing a fight. And where is OyA's engage potential? That's the question, right? He wants to engage after there's already been an attempt from the Terran.
The so, question is, surely the Eidolon's goods on the drop chest as well, especially with the ancillary support. I mean, it's so much investment for this. I mean, I guess it's going to go good damage here, but if Protoss is committing, he's going to take it out. But it's a very difficult spot. That high ground huge damage does get taken out fairly quick, though. Yeah, the Idols, like I was saying, just provide so much dense splash here. Like, there's just no way he was going to be able to poke forward and hold that spot. Now it's a naked Eidolon. I don't think he wants to stay here, but he doesn't realize
he's backed up. He's backed into a corner. Not a single Eidolon will survive.
Execute his units by making this map a dead end.
Oh, no. He's going to try to take this little fighting retreat, but he's only got Mavericks on the reinforcement path. A couple of his other units idle. There is a Phalanx, but it wasn't brought up after the reinforce. He pushed with one Phalanx. I think WolFix felt like it was already, like his time was of the essence. He's only down about 10 workers, but he's not mining for nearly as good. And look at this! The Positrons don't even need the Acantors when your Mavericks clump up like that. See you later, buddy. Golems to do a little bit of their own splash damage, as well as, of course, to be tanky as hell. And those prostration stages are making the bad boys, the pariahs. Architect coming. Mine Tyrants are on the way. Oh, yeah. He's making just about everything.
I do feel it's a bit of a mistake. If he already had the prostration stages, he could definitely have an Ancestral right now. But Architects will probably do fine, given how he's going. Yeah. Because, if he was going to make Architects, why make the prostration? You could go straight to Unitary. But nonetheless, I don't see if WolFix has any plan here. I mean, I did say he must have seen the Ultra games, right? And it's like, all right, Mass Eidolon, sure. But it's already getting too late, where once Protoss does hit the sort of Tier 4 tech, the Tier 1 Eidolons cease to be that effective. I mean, look at OyA's production tab, man. He's making one of everything. He said 50 units in Cosmonarchy. All right, I better get to work.
Yeah, I better get to work. And, he's getting his 5th base right now as his army is slowly lumbering across. The Witness here to scout ahead a little bit on the auto path. There is no Ant Seal for detection. While I say that one does fly up.
Mavericks.
Yeah, listen, there's not this army is teched out for our Protoss player and not really so for our Terran. WolFix is now in a line. This actually could be a pretty good concave. This is kind of the fight that you want to take if you can, but look, there's nothing up here for tanking all those Acantors, and he couldn't really pounce on it. His army is mostly healing now, and the Phalanx is already down to half health. And the rest of the Protoss army is slowly streaming across the map, and I don't even think most of them are going to get there. Pariahs just cleaving through everything. And that should be game, unless maybe WolFix can try to turn this around. But look, we've got the Mine Tyrant, Malefactor Automata.
I think I said this last time, but I think it's probably still the slowest Protoss unit. But nonetheless, look at it go.
Yeah,
they're going to be huge. Like a single shell in the middle of the Eidolons, like it's over, But the Mine Tyrant.
No, don't just lead with it. No, this isn't how it's supposed to go. Get out of here. Ahmed wants him. Ahmed wants him. Oh, he doesn't hit him. 2 HP. That's what we can get excited about, is whether the Mine Tyrant actually gets sniped. But honestly, the Malefactor Acantors didn't even do anything in that fight. They're busy attacking the Treasury. They've stolen a Mason. He can make Terran now, I guess.
Yeah, this is why the Acantors are really not good at match. I mean, to be fair, could have might get better. But you see the Acantors are so bad. Anyway, it doesn't matter because he's just like queuing for everything. I guess the Phalanx are contributing now. But I mean, if this was your plan, I feel like don't make the other ones at all. You know what I mean? At any rate, he does lose the 3rd. He's going to lose the rest of his units, I'm pretty sure. Phalanxes will trade efficiently, but I mean, you're just sending so many Mavericks into the mill. There's just another Terran mission where it's just like, how many Mavericks did we lose? Who was counting?
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah, and it's worth pointing out, both players actually had a pretty good bank at a few times in this game.
Rallying them in.
Yeah, he's only now correcting, and this is something you can select all the structures you want and rally at once. So it's not like resetting your rallies is too difficult here. But this is also a situation. By the way, you mentioned it earlier. Well, there's an Optecton or two coming up. He queued one, dude's got Optectons for a few hours now.
Oh, he's got so much bank. He could have a monument right now.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, to be fair, he doesn't need to macro that well right now, but definitely showing that he's not perfect here and figure out what to make. Oh man, the Insteel stack on the Phalanx, I mean, anything but a Cantor's have a hard time against that.
I think WolFix is only now realizing he has been bested by OyA. There it is. GG is called. $10 to OyA. And that's our first game.
Start.
Yeah.
Never really looked in trouble. I mean, that first attack, like I said, OyA really didn't do as well as he could have. And nonetheless, he looked pretty fine there. So yeah, definitely looking very strong. I mean, it bears out what I was saying, that WolFix is a little bit the underdog. So far, this is sort of how I'd expect it to look.
Yeah, but it's also worth pointing out that they always end up surprising us, don't they, Neblime, about how they end up playing. Like, they always end up playing better than we expect them to. So, I don't know, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Hey,
you wouldn't know.
That's pretty good.
No one told you wouldn't know these aren't just like the regular Cosmonarchy players,
In a way, yeah, that's true, yeah. All right, so OyA is now defending, and Sziky will attack, picking a map for his conquest to begin. We're expecting him to be a pretty solid player who will take everything, and he picks Acid Test for his next map.
We are placing a lot of weight on him, I realize now.
Oh, yeah. Pressure's on, and I think he's streaming. So.
Oh, yeah. Go check that out as well. Multi-stream, let's go.
Yeah. I posted it in the tournament chat, but I should also share it in the stream now that we got a couple of homies here. Streams for today, we have Sziky and WolFix streaming their POV. OyA said maybe next time he'll have his stuff taken care of, but I'll go ahead and share the links in the chat anyway. I bet Sujin with the big bet. He bet 1,000 minerals and he got it back with that bet. So, very nice, very nice. He even modified his. He put the sunglasses on the the fraud champ. That's pretty good, dude. I haven't seen that modified emote yet. So
nice,
solid stuff.
Well, I wonder. Sziky struggled with bio last time, and WolFix certainly showed he sort of knows what to do. So might we have a sort of triangle of destruction here? If WolFix is sort of best Sziky, but Sziky best OyA, which I'm just fully predicting, by the way. But who knows? OyA seems very prepared.
Listen, it's been really cool to see the scores start to ferment. I know that was only our first game, but OyA looking strong after that one. WolFix obviously has some thinking to do. I think he had some early tempo, but going for the treasury after that, in my opinion, it just kind of cuts all of the early action you can do. So we'll see how that one plays out.
Certainly true. And like we talked about, it's sort of a trap there if you just like make so many Chalos. Well, you could have had an army, So we'll see if he sort of falls into that. I think it was a reasonable rate, but there were just other issues going on there.
Yeah. Well, with all that said, we are going to get into our second match here. It is on Acid Test, a port of Litmus, a map currently being played in ASL. You want to still just stick it out for the stream this time? I'll do my best to observe adequately. So
I mean, if it's gonna, wait, these are different players, aren't?
If you want to pop in for a try, and then because we had to be on extra high even after you left, so it's not like we could do much better. But if it starts to lag again, we'll just pop out again. So all good.
Extra high, and also known as my home territory.
That's right.
Oh, I clicked on the lobby too fast, and now I'm sort of frozen right over here. All right, let's go.
Just getting another ready check for them. All right, we are getting into it, ladies and gentlemen. Acid Test coming at ya. It's OyA versus Sziky. And you know what that means.
Ready. It doesn't matter how many times you ask them, man. They're always going to be ready.
They're always going to be ready. Sziky in the bottom right is our Cyan Zerg, and OyA in the top right is our Tyrian Purple Protoss. And the bets are on. Get your Gamba in now, homies.
Oh, no. No, don't do it. Your life savings, think about them.
Gamble your minerals. Wager them. One of these players shall be your champion. And you know what? Sziky is the favorite for the whole group, for the whole show match. But this is going to be a good proving ground for him. OyA
Yeah.
just did a really solid shout. He's been getting into the groove. Did Sziky make a mistake by giving OyA the chance to warm up so soon? I don't know. But, you know, like, unless... hold on. Gamba. Thank you, Art of Turtle, for the resub. Hell yeah, brother.
Ooh.
Hell yeah. We love that kind of thing. We love that.
No, we know he's betting as he does this, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
How do I Gamba, said Arbuz. So there's a big UI thing at the top. You can hit predict. And it looks like it's dead even right now on that channel predictions on Twitch.
Dude, Doglived in chat has the intel. He says OyA's going for 4-gate. And I mean, look, I don't have to tell you, you know I'm a fan. Against Zerg, I think it's a good way to play. Look, and I feel like Sziky is still not really adapted to how to deal with just like full tilt Zealot Ecclesiast. Is going to be hard to deal with. You need a lot of judgment, though, I feel like, as to when to commit to the attack. These 3 gates already. That said, he's not really set up for a unit. What's going to get first? No Hierophant, I don't think, unless he's waiting a really long time. Ooh,
Legionnaire.
Legionnaire.
Okay. All right. We like that.
I'm sweating for OyA. I don't know if he realizes sort of the strengths and weaknesses of Legionnaires. I don't feel like OyA is going to be able to do much before Sziky's sort of prepared for it. I mean, he's going to send his Zephs immediately to scout. He's going to know what he's up against. But I don't know how much Sziky's actually seen Legionnaires for that matter.
That's right. Well, here's the build order I was talking about in our player intro, and indeed there is a 3rd gate coming for Mr. OyA, so maybe Doglived is right about that 4-gate. Now listen, the build order that Sziky did here, he ends up going for the quad gas mining in the early stages of the game, and what you end up with that, in my opinion, is you end up really far ahead as far as like your Larvosk timing. You can get your 2nd Larvosk. Ooh, good pick there on the 1st Legionnaire. And now the Ecclesiast here to try to help out. Oh, yeah. Listen, this guy's a little wiry fella. He's not letting you in for free. Now, listen, Sziky also has gone for a lot of worker kills in the past. He might be able to get one, but OyA, too fast for it. He's been beaten up on all these Cosmonarchy players instead of the pro players, and Sziky cannot find the same damage yet.
I think on balance, Zerg should not get a worker in this kind of rusher because Sziky does like to do this, get these walls F, and he always sends them in no matter what I've noticed and tends to lose them. So I don't really favor it. He did do a good deal of damage on the 1st Legionnaire, so it is what it is, I suppose. But again, I don't really favor making these units just like 100% throwing them away, you know what I mean? And now he doesn't have that much. As Protoss is coming across, Protoss is very disjointed, he needs to concentrate. But yeah, this looks very dicey for Zerg, I have to say. See if he can start getting the kills. Zephs are quite bad against Legionnaires unless they really overwhelm, because the Legionnaires can easily micro back and forth. Plus, whoever can handle them. A few more units pop. He's going after the Ecclesiast.
Oh, that's good target. There we go. There we go. All right, another thing pointing out here that I think is worth pointing out, because Sziky did get a full scout with those Zeths. So at least he knows that this is a committed attack with 3 gates. He doesn't know if it's a 4-gate follow-up, and in fact, it isn't. OyA just going to cut a little bit of military production now and grab his expansion while forcing Sziky to delay his own.
You know, I like this. I actually favor this kind of play, the 3-gate and then expand. Although I got to say, I still do not rate the Legionnaires whatsoever. But yeah, we can see Sziky sort of quite allergic here. He's got very strong 1-base defense. He's going to come down now. But I feel like Protoss Army can push this back. I mean, the Ecclesiast in the back will sort of make this kind of impossible course journey. He does not want to commit here, though. This is a huge overextension from Protoss. All right, let's see what he loses.
Just the one Zealot, a little bit of HP on another. But that, yeah, if he stuck around for that fight, you would have been absolutely right. Just everything would have died. Doesn't have the critical mass.
Here's the thing, even losing 1 Zealot might be a huge deal there, because you really want to delay the expand as much as possible, and every unit counts these Zealot Ecclesiasts. A couple more Ecclesiasts come up. You can see how much difference 2 to 3 Zealots can make, or say 3 to 4. Because Zerg just wants to get down here. And now, I think Sziky, me and him have actually played many games on this map that went this exact way. So I think he's quite aware of how dangerous it can be just trying to bust through quads. That's why we see him getting so much Zeph forward and stuff. A couple of Naths, I think, just to harass is a great move. No,
they're not for harassment. I mean, they are, but not the Naths. He's turning those into Calculusks. He already has the Apex node on the 1 base.
Yes, he is.
This is exactly what I was afraid of for OyA, is that I don't know if he's seen this exact thing before. So he's going to come in here. I think he's might be thinking about a fast 3rd base or something. I saw his camera pan over to that little spot where the calcs are, actually. But he's not going to scout it in time to be ahead of it, and he doesn't have any defenses. Yeah. He's not even going to have any anti-air, like maybe Ecclesiasts, but at the best they can try to stop the bleeding, they can't remove the threat. So let's see if he can break through, but the boards are here as well.
Ooh, I don't know, man. That's not the arc you want either. You don't want to be spread out like that. The Lyril is going to do damage here. Now, he does have a lot, though. The Ecclesiast is doing good healing, but a bunch more Zephs hatched just in the nick of time. I think Sziky's going to be able to hold here. The Lyril is in the back, untouched. So is the Circuit doing the damage. The front line is down. He has to retreat, and the Calculus hit in the main. I think Sziky's going to take this pretty easily, man.
Well, he's definitely outmaneuvered him with that hold. There's more reinforcements coming, but it's mostly Ecclesias. How long can two heroic zealots stay alive for? And the Calculus aren't doing great chase damage, right? They've only killed 3 workers so far, and there is that extra Nexus. But this bust out is going to let Sziky expand, and we know...
He's concentrated.
Oh, no, it's even worse than that. Yeah, OyA can't mass up the defense. He was a bit committed to that attack, and Sziky takes that game. Man.
Well, the concept is absolutely there. I don't mind what OyA was doing whatsoever. I think it's a great way to open. I do feel like he isn't quite aware of how quite to utilize this Ecclesias there. And yeah, not aware of like the myriad harass options Zerg has. I feel like you've just got to throw down the Matrix Blind in the main, like pretty much every game there. Because, someone told Sziky about Calculus, curse you, whoever that was, and now he does this like every game.
It's a really good play for him to do. He's feeling it. He's feeling good about it. And we are going to be sitting pretty here, just enjoying the fact that we just had a very quick second match. Moving right along.
Yeah, that's right. WolFix eager to get another go, I guess. We'll see if Sziky can sort of, as predicted, just be bumping both players, or like I was saying, are we going to get this sort of triangle effect? Can WolFix pull it off? He knows which unit to make. He's seen the Eidolon, or maybe hasn't seen. They are cloaked. But, I mean, Sziky's got plenty of time to think about his failings in that other game. And I don't know how good those Eidolons ultimately are versus Zerg.
I love the chat. AOT getting paid and then talking about keep dying, greedy Protoss. That's some good shit.
I mean, did anyone bet on... OyA there? No shade,
oh yeah, it was mostly OyA. That was a big payout.
Oh, come on, guys. Come on, guys. Have you not seen Sziky grinding? Are you for real? I'm shaming all you gamblers out there who bet on OyA. That was an unsound decision.
It was 4.3k for OyA, 2.5k for Sziky. So a lot of money went to Pisans and 3 others because they were the ones who bet on Sziky. It doesn't actually tell me who. It doesn't give me the full idea. I don't really have that opportunity.
When
Flex
I
it, he says.
at the end of the month, I am not listening to your sub stories about why you bet on OyA. My sympathy is gone.
All right. Well, there's an opportunity here. We're waiting on WolFix to select his next battleground. Got Ancient Scion X in there. He's from Zyky's stream, actually. Zyky's community. Shout out.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Sziky, is not speaking English on his stream, right? So we sort of have different options for the experience.
Yeah, he doesn't usually have a mic on at all. In fact, I don't know if I've ever heard his voice, but he does type in the chat in English and in Hungarian. So, yeah, Sziky fanboy. There you go.
Nice. Welcome.
Well, anybody who's a Sziky fanboy is probably going to be making some bank today because think about how favored he is. Now, we're coming into what should be the most one-sided matchup here on paper. But WolFix showed the bio style, and if he can continue to show that, I'm really worried about the Talos, man. Okay, we've already cast your games versus Ultra, so it's okay to spoil them or talk about them. You won the games he went Talos in. This is a situation where the Terran players, even the pros are coming in here with their Talos idea. And, I know Ultra just likes it. It's not even necessarily he thinks it's good, although maybe he does. But it's not even necessarily that. He just enjoys it. So, fine, fair enough. Yeah. But definitely an interesting spot to be in. We are going to Watchpoint, the port of Matchpoint, coming up at you guys here.
Nice. I'm not surprised different players would pick it. I gotta say, I feel like it's probably slightly better for Zerg, but we'll see how that goes. Surely by default. Well, hang on. Does this map pool have all the ports in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all StarCraft 1 map ports, and it's all Class 1 maps that are currently in the pool. So I've linked them a big list. It links to all the Liquipedia pages. They can see the map previews and all that. So
nice.
Very easy.
I imagine they'll all choose ports, whenever they can, no matter whether it actually helps them or not. If I recall, when we saw in the last show match, Sziky got roasted on this map, didn't he?
He beat the Mech Terran Ultra. That's the Mech one. Yeah.
That's right. And then Ultra never made Mech again.
That's right. He was never heard from or seen from again as far as the Mech player goes. And we are back in for our next round. Gamba up. Let's get that overlay updated as well. We're talking about WolFix taking on Mr. Sziky, who's currently on a 1-0 start to his campaign. He's going to be having a very good time indeed in this Zerg versus Terran, and he's played on this map a lot. So this is not like a punish pick necessarily for WolFix against Sziky. This is a map that, WolFix has played on Matchpoint, I'm sure 100 times, 1,000 times, because it's been in the pool for a while. Not recently, but anybody who's played a lot of StarCraft 1 has played a lot of this kind of map. So this won't surprise me. But Sziky in the bottom left is our red Zerg, and WolFix in the top right, our Maya blue. Oh no, royal blue Terran this time around. Very cool. Very royal. Shout out Royal. No ASL spoilers, but shout out Royal. Fulcrum coming up. So it is a mech start versus Zerg and a bio start versus Protoss. Right. WolFix is making sure to remind us this isn't StarCraft 1.
Well, if you could find the the way to play mech against Zerg, this map would be pretty good for it because it's got a lot of pretty narrow areas. I'm assuming it's going to be like a phalanx-based style, right?
Probably, yeah.
Whereas, the bio would struggle versus Kislev, right? Or even like Hydrobacked in these kind of situations, I feel. So I don't know. Maybe there's something to it. I mean, I don't know how deep it goes with WolFix here. How much practice he sort of had, how much plans he's made. I guess we'll see. This map, by the way, unlike some other ports, there isn't really any layout changes there, rather than a few extra neutral buildings.
Yeah. So instead of having a mineral field here, because we were getting wandering happening all the time at the natural, we instead turned that into a vestry. You can just blow it up if you want to path around it. When it comes to the middle of the map, I added some neutral structures so that you can blow those up to make the middle of the map more open. I did make some layout changes more recently. I will try to highlight them when they appear more vociferously, shall we say. But the ramps into the natural area have been extended recently. And there is a more narrow ramp to the middle that Sziky is now going to use here to show us. This is a faster but obviously narrow ramp, and the wider ramp is still present opposite it. So we might end up seeing some small changes based on that. Vulture already coming out here for WolFix.
Made
oh,
right off of that. This mine could be bad or it could be good.
Oh, there you go.
Perfect. Look it off. I wonder if he's seen that one Shambler game. I highly doubt it, but does he know the hazards? You got to be careful there. But well done. He does take them all out, and Sziky once again condemns 4 Zefs to death with guaranteed chance of death. Oh, hang on, I say that.
There it is.
No, he's dead.
He's engaged the nitrous. Away he goes.
Yeah, that's right.
It looks like we are still getting that lag, by the way. I think it might be you and WolFix having a disagreement based on what I'm seeing here. But hey, if Sziky plays as expected, we'll see you back here for the next game. So at least there's that.
Yeah, I guess so.
The Goliaths are coming out here, and he said that they were doing really well at tanking versus Zerg, and I'm sure he meant pool units. But the Goliath was not scouted.
Well, I feel like against Zeph, they're not too bad, but yeah, the Hydra is on the way.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, he does only have the Quaz at the moment. Oh, man, WolFix does not want to lose this Vulture.
No, it actually represents a surprising amount of DPS in this fight.
I mean,
very much tanking
anymore. Slower than Brood War, but
right.
The damage types, they always do full damage, so they still do pretty well. Yeah, I'm worried if it's Zeph only, he's making an overlap. If he picks up 6 scores and goes to drop, he might just die. He might well just be snapped here by this Goliath.
Yeah, there's multiple Goliaths stomping across the map. We have 2 at the front gates. We got 2 more leaving the base, and 2 more in production. So this is really like a committed attack once again from WolFix.
Hang on, one of them's just sort of hanging out. I don't know what's doing over there. What the hell is he?
It's just off the rally, I think.
Moved it again. No. He just put his screen over there and moved it like one tile. So I don't know. Okay, never mind.
I wonder if it's a deliberate. He might have just been thinking if he scouts me out. And by the way, there is a 6 Quaz drop coming from Sziky, so he's super understated. He's got 4 Quaz back at home. 5 Hydras.
Oh, the Hydra's hatching. Yeah, and the Circuit coming up. He knows somehow. He must have seen this already or something. Oh, a Cyclops coming up too. It still looks pretty scary, but I think he might actually be able to hold if you Micro as well.
Well, there's 5 Goliaths here. Don't underestimate their DPS. Man. Let's see what happens, because they're even numbers with the Hydras, and you don't want to be in that situation. Sziky has no military in production right now.
Overlap? What is he? No, the Circuit didn't get morphed, did it?
It did. It's there. It's all the way in the it's all the way in the mineral. It's for anti-drop. That's what he thought was coming. But the Goliaths can just trade here. They're fine. They are so fine right now. Just Gatling these poor Zerg units, and now they're going to pressure the structures. Now there is a drop coming out here, unloading, and the units just left the base. So the next round is going to be sometime. He's going to drill away and not fight. I mean, maybe a good decision. Back over at Sziky's base, he's lost a single Goliath. The Hydras are going to start to collapse here pretty soon, though. There's the focus fire now finally coming out, but WolFix still standing tall with the Goliaths, and the Vulture has just been damaging the pool this whole time. It could have been maybe a little bit closer, but I'm not quite sure about the range there. And yeah, right now the Cyclops return home. They clean out. Well, actually, those are the 2 that just got made. Where are those reinforcements? Another Goliath kind of ambulating, just doing nothing right now, but still WolFix is owning this fight.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to get taken down here because there's no sustain, but he's done enough damage, I think, especially because this other Larvos. I think he's in a very decisive position with his expansion already up.
That's a dead Larvos,
that's production down. Yeah, that's very bad for Sziky. He's only got 1 hatch now. Not a big gas bank to use either. The overleft doing some tanking. I mean, it's actually not bad at that.
It had a Hydra in it, which is not good.
Oh. Well, he didn't get the memo. That was not a transport overlap. So he's going to take the expansion. And look, I was telling Sziky, like, even if you're on, like, 15 workers to 30, you can come back. The worker count is fine. It's just his production / military safety. So he's still in a lot of danger, but he does have a lot of comeback potential here. Oh my god.
One more stutter step, and I think that would have been gone. 2 more Goliath salvos. Hatch coming down. The mining has been good this whole time for WolFix, even though he hasn't been harvesting Vespene. He had fine saturation down here at the natural, so he's actually not really in that much danger. And look at this, Sziky trying to be cheeky with it. He's going to unload at the extremity. 1 Goliath will kill 4 Quas, though, so that's not really a big deal.
What if there's, like, the most intense burrow marker you've ever seen?
Well, let's find out. I don't think it's happening.
No, man, like I said, no one tells Sziky that he can burrow his units. I feel like he just doesn't even think of it, but he could get so much advantage from it, and God help me if anyone tells him about that.
Well, maybe somebody might. If Cyclops keep getting made here, WolFix might have to be told that they deal friendly splash. You never know. So maybe there's like that kind of information deficit on both sides. We saw OyA. I thought this was really cool. OyA ended up using the stand on the borrowed unit trick in the last game. Previously to try to, get rid of one of the Zeths that Sziky had borrowed. So he's showing that mechanic as well. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
So, that's something WolFix might not know by comparison. Oh, he lifted his treasury. Why did he do that?
He's trying to make the quarry, but he fucked up, I guess. Oh. No, I don't know.
No, I don't know. He's like, all right, go back home, guys. Get out of here.
That is a classic Brood War move. You're like, time to make my comp sat, and then your command center lifts up. You're like,
oh, he didn't even correct the rally, so they're going to go all the way back. The walk of shame.
Look, he felt like he was doing a bit well, so it was like, I better even things up a bit to chance. He's got those 0 cores out with their fancy new graphic. I love those.
Yeah.
It looks like he had the ski backs. Wonder if he's thinking backlist here. Backlists are kind of okay here, but I don't know if they're that good. To get this mech, I do think you should rely more on the Zorka's units. I haven't seen Ultra Core versus mech yet, because it wasn't a tier 1 unit, so I'm not sure how good that is or bad that is. I really don't know. But I do feel like backlists are going to be sort of exploitable here. I think that's something WolFix has ways of dealing with.
Well, the other thing that's, I think, worth pointing out here is we still don't have a mech add-on, but we got a Vestry. He's making Cleric Goliath. This is such a throwback, dude. He's got 2 Stockade pumping Goliath. Huracan also an option later on?
It seems good, but I don't know. I feel like it really doesn't scale very well. You end up just with this like blob that can't really do anything. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't go well later into the game. And, Sziky's up on his 2 base economy. He does need more workers, but so does WolFix. He's lifting again.
Okay, no, he got it. He corrected it this time. There's the quarry.
Oh my gosh.
I think the first time it was also that, but look at his gas. He's got so much Vespene.
Honestly, WolFix's worker count is really low because he got the quarry instead of, the treasury instead of the ministry. He's way down from where he could have been. A 0 core is being dropped. I mean, I don't know if he's been watching Hit 'em Up play. I still maintain that against good players, it's just not the move. As long as he's like paying attention in pools, which is, never mind about that. I guess he's just running with both. Yeah,
trying to duel the Goliath is not it, but he could have just stood in the mineral line and hold position.
He did so little damage to it. It was only like 50 damage. All that. Oh my gosh.
Well, thinking about top left, double worker there. That's interesting.
Still thinking about it, but that's about as far as it goes.
Well, mech is moving out. There's a bunch of Hydras and a Zero Core down there in the bottom. Oh, this death actually scouts only 1 Goliath. That's huge for Sziky. He's going to come in and try to do some economic pressure. We have some Cyclops and Cyprians being made, but that's about it. This 1 Goliath is dead to rights. So now that kind of forces WolFix into an aggressive posture, but he doesn't really have the tools to break this if he's going to go very, very ham on it.
Well,
the clerics are starting to heal, so there's something. Yeah.
Goliaths can handle the circuit from the back door, as you can see, are really not going to do anything here. I mean, this counterattack squad is doing good damage, but I don't think Sziky can hold whatsoever. I mean,
Quarry's down.
What can he make? Oh, okay, a few more backlists out, but again, I think really, all the worker pool is going to be instrumental here, actually, and you're right, I suppose.
Damage is split. Yeah, he didn't finish off that circuit. It killed like 2 extra Goliaths, at least in terms of damage, so that ends up being really significant. I mean, at the end of the day, he lost the quarry, which is bad. He did deflect the drop. It looks like he lost 1 worker, but he lost most of his army, and that's the critical thing here, is all of his clerics are going to get hunted down. That represents a lot of minerals, which is what he's gated by. Unless WolFix drops tier 2 in turtles, I don't really see a way out of him for him, and even then, I don't know how well he knows tier 2.
I guess even though I was like knocking Goliath cleric, I did not realize quite how ineffective it would be against attacking that fortified position.
That's right.
Really didn't get as much done there as I thought. So, yeah, it looks like Sziky taking a decisive lead now. It looks like WolFix is just going to take a third, but I feel like that's not the way to go. I feel like that's going to lead to guaranteed defeat, especially since it's shootable from the high ground by backlist, imagine. Like, it's going to go real bad. At least it's not mineral only like in Brood War, but I don't know. It's going to be a tall order to hold that.
Yeah, that's right. And he's still a little bit, it looks like kind of paranoid about drops. He's sending a Goliath back up there, finally adding the Palladium, but at the same time as he's adding another Stockade and a Star Pad. So investing into more tier 1. Not going to be interested in spending that gas bank that he had down on anything more long term. And on the one hand, I don't blame him. Oh, he lifts it again.
What is going on
That's
with
like
that? Wait, did he start a quarry before? Did he cancel it?
No, it got blown up by the counterattack.
Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, the first lift was inexplicable. I think he ran out of money or something when it landed.
We're gonna have to ask him about, like, is there some, like, hotkey problem going on? Like, I'm very confused about this.
Well, he's the only pro who didn't turn off, as far as I know, he's the only pro who did not turn off the grid. Like, maybe he might still be on grid, so that could be what's happening.
Maybe. I mean, the lift off and land is always in the same position, though, right? So
yeah,
that's no excuse.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, if you're a little bit thrown off by the hotkeys, that might just make you a bit weird in general, a bit wonky in general. So
because it's cost him like a significant amount of minerals at this point, where it like might be decisive in the game.
Yep.
So I'm worried. Now this expansion, at least there's nothing committed over there, so at least he's not going to lose anything with it. Maybe he'll realize the folly of trying to take it and just sort of total back on his 2 bases. Because, you know, Sziky's economy is not that good. His 3rd base is sort of only just finished. There's not much there. A lot of Cyprians here can hold as long as it's sort of on even ground. The high ground back is absolutely stuck. And he's going to try and engage, but he's not want to go near this.
Oh, no, the Anseal.
This on a field day. Oh, no, this is exactly what he doesn't want. He's getting absolutely splattered from range now.
The armor rent from the Zoryus. Oh, the Rollcore is just sick onto them. Oh, they're slowing everything down for the attack speed, and he only has the 1 phalanx. No, he's got 2. He's got 2. That might actually be enough to at least change Sziky's mind. But look, he's just going to finish killing the treasury, right? Nothing much you can do about that.
Buff doing huge work there at the end. But yeah, I think WolFix needed to not even try that. Yeah, if he was back with the phalanx the whole time, you can see he might have been okay, but he lost so much there and didn't get anything out of it because the 3rd is still pushed back.
Yeah, you know, he kept the treasury, but that's really small fry, you know?
Sziky just chews up 10 draw left because he's like, oh, okay, I've killed a bunch of army. He knows he's safe now. So things getting worse and worse for WolFix here. Oh, man. I was going to say, is that treasury going to keep flying away and burn down? That would have been tragic, but Talos is here. Do they have a specific line we sell them to repair?
No, but I should get My Name is Low to record one. Hey, tier 2.
Oh, okay.
Sziky coming up with the Iral Iris. He wants to... He doesn't think he can end this on tier 1. He feels like the phalanxes are a little bit too intimidating.
I think he absolutely could with a few ultra cores.
That's right. That's right. And he is making the Vornath, but he's like single upgrading some of this stuff, but not the Shroud, not the Olgorg.
Well, he's probably going to make a Mutaf, I think, is the most likely. That just seems to be what he likes.
Yeah, he likes Protaphilors. Yeah. Oh, look at that, Jinx.
I don't think they're that good against Phalanx. I mean, they're not bad per se, but I mean, not that he needs to make that good decisions to win from this point. I just feel like there are much stronger things to do too. But I think he knows about Vilgora cores. Oh, I like this. Now
he's just like, yeah, I'll take 12 o'clock. Thanks, buddy.
I'm pretty sure Phalanx can hit that, by the way.
Yeah.
So I don't know about this. We'll see.
Well, forcing even 1 Phalanx out of position could make the difference, honestly. Like, the margins are that slim for WolFix trying to survive.
Yeah, I guess so. He can afford to waste a hatch Rosk. He doesn't care about minerals that much. He's saving a lot of gas, but I don't know what for. No tier 2 structure yet.
Just finished hatching. There it is, the nest. Oh, he wants Vilgs, I think. I think that's what he's
doing. Yeah, I think that's going to be it, because he does know about Vilgs. I think he knows about Conflict as well. Not that he needs them because all the Goliath dead, but they would have been good for that.
Sziky, please infest something. Please use the Matrolith.
I don't think he knows about the infesting feature, man.
Yeah, that's too bad.
I mean, what would you take from this pathetic Terran army anyway, though? They're weak.
Phalanx. Phalanx are so good. Or, you know, just drop, get his ministry, lift it, see ya. Yeah,
that'd be good. That's a Brood War strategy right there. Man, he doesn't need anything. He's got all these dwarves, and these are like regular morph dwarves, so they're gonna like degen and have enough health.
Yeah.
Needs to get the good angle though. That's what he needs. He definitely can lose if everything comes in single file. It's a good number of phalanx, but that's kind of all it is. The front line is really not very good here, and he cannot fight those backers on the high ground. I feel like once again, WolFix is committing himself to a fight in a location that's not going to favor him. He's not siege. Does pull back a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if he knows how well armored those are. Honestly, if all of those are in the front line, they might actually do something here. Oh no, the basilisks.
Okay, let's see. They're all clumped up. Where's the phalanx targeting? They kind of just go everywhere. They're not really focusing down the units in the back, and that means the front line's going to take their own splash. This is going to be a total wipe. There's no hope for WolFix to remax from this position. He loses everything.
Dude, we saw the phalanx hit like all in a circle around the army, and like the Vorv just turns and Zeph's like, all right, round 2.
Yeah, he's gonna at least get a cancel off at 6 o'clock. But yeah,
I'll make his Antor. He's gonna make I don't even say the name of the unit. You know the one.
Yeah, the Akistrikor. He's going for it.
No, not the Akistrikor. The other one.
The Tekkerakor.
Yeah, that one. He's gonna make that.
There's one other option. So that was.
He likes the obscure units, man. He likes the Tekkerakor. I've seen him use it. Oh, it's Strafalef even. Okay.
Oh, we love the
see that.
Estratholeth. Hell yeah, brother. Let's get him.
Dude, he's not going to get to use it, surely. Well, I mean, WolFix did kind of stay in the game a long time last time.
You know, he doesn't yet know, so it looks like fantasy GG timing to us, but he's just, you know, he's trying it. Tier 2 starting for him as well. He's like, yeah, I'm on 3 base. I'm in the game. It doesn't matter. Zerg has to every base.
Yeah, I guess the effect of that push is he did secure his 3rd base, but I mean, Sziky's just kind of going to aim.
Yeah, at what cost? The cost of his whole army. Right? There's only Mavericks out here. I guess they can be a poor man's, you know, phalanx mortar magnet.
Oh, he wants to use that stuff. He's like, no, I've got to use the fancy units. I ain't.
Yeah, Tesseract flying up to 12.
You.
Yeah.
I mean, the Estratholef is not a synergy with those, I gotta say, but nonetheless. Guess he can plague everything. Actually, that would be sick if you plague everything.
Yeah, if you think about it, you plague the Tesseract. Oh boy.
WolFix is not going to know what hit him just now. Oh my god. He's running away at least, but this is about to get bad.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they spawn these Rillisks.
Oh, they spawn from buildings?
Yeah.
Ooh,
they spawn from anything.
Though, they're like hard counter, honestly. Like, he's figured it out. Although,
it's an airdrop when they die. They regress into the convey, and then they're just
I didn't know that.
Big armor fight. The Carapace Sword from the Estratholeths to protect them, but then he just charges in, and he's like, oh, hey, I'll plague too.
Yeah. I mean, nice swarm to the Gorgoroth is doing a great job, but it doesn't need to. There's so much job. Look at the main. Look at WolFix's main. It's just all red right now. Dude, if he had like a single Orchestra core here, that'd be... Oh, and the Confies, they like double synergy because they make Gorilla cores as well.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wild.
Dude, that's so strong.
That is the first time I think I've ever seen that. So shout out to Sziky for showing us that particular move. You know, that's the kind of thing that like when you're WolFix, you're just like, man, what the hell is that? Like, it's not even like he killed me with a thing I can recognize. I haven't seen that before. And so, like, you got to just shake that one off and be like, all right, I was just behind. I can get ahead and do other things. So there was actually some room for WolFix to perform the upset in that game.
Yeah, for sure. There were moments, for sure. I thought the first Goliath attack was very good. He like got himself well ahead, but unfortunately was not able to play from there. And like I mentioned, I feel like this...
You
so I feel like that played into it, and this is sort of the trap, right? Where you're like, well, I want to play on what I know. At least I know match point, but it's really not very favored. And Sziky is like already ready to play on it, you know?
Yeah. Yep, that's definitely a true statement for sure.
I think the only other player who's used Tesseract in a casted match is Jack Lansky.
Yes, probably true.
It's a pretty rare one. Have we seen Estratholef in a casted match?
Yes, but a long time ago, and also I guess there have been some more recently. Grass Eater made them once versus Jimmy.
Oh, nice. So. They are pretty good, don't get me wrong. Peace sense in chat. Terran truly is the most oppressed race. I mean, I don't know, man. There was a lot he could have done there that he didn't do.
Yeah, it's also, you know, I mean, like, I guess, like, as a factual statement, yes, because the other two are fictional, but you know what I mean? Like, come on now.
All right, who bet on WolFix? Did you bet on WolFix? Peace ends. That was unwise of you.
Yeah, somebody did.
On Sziky every time.
Somebody did.
I think it's Peace ends.
Based on what he's saying.
Yeah. That's why he's in chat. Like, no, it's not fair. I had my college savings riding on that. So it's up to OyA to pick, right? He gets the rematch.
Yep, he's going to once again duel with Sziky. And I feel like we're going to wait for him to pick a map here. As a reminder, guys, we are going for 11 maps today. 11 maps played. So we are going to be seeing some interesting ones selected. I'm guessing OyA will pick another Cosmonarchy map. Near Impact, indeed, I was correct. So we are going to go to a Cosmonarchy original here. And feel free to pop in again, Nebline, since we know that you don't lag with these guys.
Good. Let me close the stream because I feel like that might make an effect.
Hey, WolFix is actually in the stream. He's asking for some advice. Yeah, makes sense. Honestly, nice. Like, if you want our quick notes there, your Goliath push could have done a lot, and did do a lot, but probably just, like, being able to... It is a tricky unit to master because it's got that attack wind up, and then it just shoots forever. So if Sziky keeps falling back with the Zerg units, then the Goliaths have to step forward and start again. You actually don't necessarily want to step them back. You want to step other units back if they're not, like, within range of a circuit or something. So if they can keep doing their damage, they're good. They're doing so much damage output if you're not interrupting them. But you only want to be able to stutter step them back when they're actually in a position where you need to actually fall back in, because you're cutting your DPS a lot there. So that, I think, maybe just pause the Goliath or something like that. Make sure they're still targeting the right unit, but otherwise don't necessarily stutter stepping backwards, and then use the Vultures or the Cyclops or something like that as the more micro-intensive unit there. But other than that, honestly, I thought that opener had legs. I really thought that opener had legs.
Yeah. The first attack, definitely. Look, I would say two things to him that would help. One, Goliaths are not that good past the early game. They really just weren't the unit there, and they generally aren't past the early game. First attack was good. Two, never stand on low ground when Bactyl is hitting you from high ground. You'll just get decimated every time.
Yeah, the +1 weapon range when you're on the high ground, and then the Bactylus's getting more bounces the farther their projectile travels. That's the unit that evolves from the Hydra. It shoots the green, yellowish venom, and it's like from a far range, and they bounce. That kind of bounce thing doesn't happen if you're in their face. So you get Vultures or Hurricanes or Matadors, as somebody was suggesting in chat, can definitely help out there. Matadors require the other add-on from the Fulcrum, so yeah, that's stuff to think about. But we do have a PVZ on our hands now. I'm OyA attacking on near impact. Sziky is defending. He's in the bottom right as our Vivid Red Zerg going for his pool, and he will then saturate his gas nodes. And then up here in the top left, we have OyA as the Dark Sapphire Protoss going for his 1 gate. Now, will he do 3 gate expand again? That's what we're wondering. And of course, we have our...
Look, man, I think it is the way to play. Honestly, I feel like even way back, I was doing this just plus the lattice, because the NAFs were kind of crazy back then. But I do think that's what you want to do against Zerg, so I'd be happy to see it. Now, he'll probably be more prepared, hopefully, for the Calcs to come in. At any rate, it is going to be the rematch here, so he has to bring something fresh, I feel. If Sziky can just sit here and say, well, I'm going to do the same thing, it's up to OyA to sort of challenge that. Although this map is probably slightly better for Protoss, hard to say.
Yeah, I feel like the engagements can be pretty successful for the Protoss player. They do end up feeling like they can control the ground a little bit more. Definitely something that will change depending on what Sziky does. But this is also a map where I feel like you really want to get that expansion up as both players. It can be so suffocating to be locked into your natural in this map. That's
why 3-gate, not 4-gate.
Right.
At Dog lived in chat. 3-gate lets you expand actually pretty fast, even continually pumping Zealot Ecclesiast. So it's sort of perfect like that. And ideally, you can delay the Zerg expand a really long time. And then from there, you sort of just fight on equal footing. Where it's like, okay, well, yes, the Zerg units are sort of just better at tier 1, but I have sort of the slightly faster expand. I've had the 3 production structures that sort of forced you to not make workers for a little bit. So you can sort of fight toe-to-toe for a while. Once again, on Legionnaire, I'm still pretty dubious on the Legionnaires. I don't think they add much. I mean, at least they're out now and they're ready to fight the Zeph. But I mean, you should be able to micro against them anyway. I don't think you need to have a unit when they arrive. At any rate, he's going to have a hard time chasing them around. Not a fan of the Hierophant versus Zerg, which I think is a bit of a mistake. I think a single Hierophant can add huge value.
Yep, the Hierophant definitely adds the little stacking slow that they do. OyA trying his best to see what he can make happen over here to defend versus Sziky's Zets, and they haven't been able to find a worker kill. The Ecclesiast really helps with that. When the Ecclesiast attacks a target, any unit around the Ecclesiast's target will also get shields back if they're an ally. So every time, the Zets are on top of a scribe here, trying to attack the workers, the Ecclesiast is actually healing the shields of that unit when they hit one of the Zets. And you can see, like, OyA's already showing his scout scribe is coming down to go for that expansion, and obviously the Legionnaire was kind of his scout, and now we have Sziky kind of hard committing to this double circuit static D, which is pretty much in line with what he did on Acid Test, and he's getting that Vornath. So this one is hitting a lot faster. Actually, I think Sziky might be in a bit of trouble here. Even though we're seeing a faster Nexus, the timing of those circuits, you can have the circuits if you want, but you can just run by. You can just ignore it.
Well, I mean, that's a very dicey move from Protoss, though. I don't feel like that's going to end well. I feel like you'd have to really out-micro the Zerg in their base to make that worth it. Well, here he goes. Now engaging goes definitely the way. And look, what do you know? The Legionnaire is the one who gets killed.
Yeah, he was leading the charge, dude. He's the fastest unit.
Yeah, all right. Now, still no static D here. Has OyA learned? I mean, I do like that he's getting the expand up already. I mean, in that sense, this looks very good because, like I was saying, he's leading the expand. He needs to not commit up the ramp, though. I feel like that's never going to go well. But is he going to prepare for the Calcs? That's going to be critical here.
I think one Matrix each base shuts it down immediately, right? Like, you don't even need
not
that
completely.
Much.
Not completely, because they can range at the edges. If you put it in that position in the center of the mineral line, the Calcs will actually still be able to get some kills. But at least it means they can't just come in and kill everything immediately. He needs a couple Dracs just hanging around. But he's going to go for the attack, and you know what? It looks menacing. I wonder if he might have been able to commit there, but he would have lost basically all his Zealots.
There's 3 Vorvs already done, too. And here comes the pair of Nats as the Calculator Lake is finishing up, so...
Just a pair. I mean, it's not that hard to deal with, right? If it's just 2 Ardent coming up. Okay. If it was a Stargate, I'd say, oh, well, can you get a land effect and deal with those or something? I don't think 1 land effect deals with 2 Calcs. Though,
no, not by itself. It would deal with the Nats, maybe. Although, never mind. It wouldn't even do that. Need probably 2.
Yeah, no, what are you saying? That's like the best matchup ever for, for the Navs.
All right, this is much easier for OyA to finish the job here on
Yeah.
this attack, but Sziky's still trying to make it work. Where is the focus fire? It doesn't look like it existed there for the Protoss, trying to deal with those Vorvs, and still so many of them at large, despite the fact that only
get way too spread out.
of them.
But there's the stutter step coming in.
Okay.
Yeah, you really need to like bunch up big time here. But he did recover. Like once he started stutter stepping, this comp really can't do anything. And you know what? Sziky is going to have to lose this expansion, I think.
Yeah.
I don't really see what he can do. Much more quas popping, but as long as OyA's on top of the micro and constantly sort of moving back and forth, there's no way to save this hatch, I don't think.
Well, the Matrix at the front of the Nexus is going to provide very limited coverage for the Calculusks that are being morphed sort of towards 9 o'clock.
Don't you start with that. You have to put it there because otherwise they'll just come to the bottom of the mineral field. That is the spot, but you just need a second one is the problem. There's no better spot to put it if you only have one. Oh, you mean in the natural?
Yes.
So sorry, I was defending the one in the main.
Yes. Yeah, you can listen. I agree with the one in the main. That's fine. I'm talking about this one in the front of the Nexus.
Yeah, that is going to be a big problem because he can sit behind the minerals with impunity. Again, is there a Drac out? I don't see anything like that. If Positron is out, it's fine, but the range is a bit short. I think Sziky's going to get outsized value from these calcs. That said, he's in a hard spot at home. The Lyrislisk are out. Sorry, Lyrislisk are out, and that's going to be enough to deal with this, I think.
Yeah, they have that one armor pen with the Vorvs. They cut through all the armor of an unshielded Zealot.
He's like the Ecclesias moved back and the Zealots did not. They didn't get the order, you know?
That's right, yeah.
Calculus. So he starts the Warden, but it's too late.
Well, here's the Positron, and I actually think this can defend versus it. But the Calculus is a crafty unit.
Fight them.
Oh, he's also trying to micro back at home. It looks like the Warden will narrowly stay alive and finish up. It'll have some shields to deflect that. The big problem now is the ground army.
Yeah, he's definitely going to lose that fight. He needs to fall back to his tank defense. Although the Ecclesias is doing good work here. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that was worth it. He lost, I think, 2 Zealots there. Or the Zealot and Ecclesias, I'm not sure. But now he has his bulwark here in his tank defense. He'll definitely hold. It's hard to say, man. Sziky's pretty behind on workers, but already having that calc here is pretty good. The Ardent being out, there does need to be something other than calc here. I'm not really sure what the best thing is at tier 1. Remaking that calc.
Yeah, well, another pylon that actually blocks damage from the calc. Anything that's in the way of the calc actually will intercept and reduce the damage by 1 for anything that gets attacked after. So
they're pretty terrible against Protoss buildings with all their armor and their shields and so on.
That's right. That's right. So
here it comes.
All right. I don't think they're going to get very much. No.
Yeah, no way.
You can see it's doing 1 damage each shot, so it's not working out too well for Sziky.
Oh, he loses 1. Oh. Yeah, no, that ain't it. That ain't it. The Positron's even like, don't even try it. All right, well, is it going to continue to be Lyrislisk? Now, the Lyrislisk first Positron matchup, I don't know what to make of it. It seems like the Positron's going to be good, but I mean, the Lyrislisk kind of do enough damage. Their range isn't that short. Can they sort of just overwhelm, I wonder?
Positron drop on the way. Double
in
that envoy. And we have 2 Positrons out with the rest of the army. With all the Zealot Ecclesias, it does look really difficult for just pure pool units to deal with this. Now, more calcs are going to be in the making as Nathricors are coming up. They can also deal with the drop if OyA mishandles where he drops it, but it doesn't look like they're going to be staffing that sort of left of the main for Sziky. He's making a circuit for anti-drop, but it's a little bit too late.
Oh, the Navs are kind of going on the way. Are they getting intercept? Is he paying attention? No, he's looking at the front. But they do look onto that shuttle.
Okay, is he going to get it off? He needs to unload. He needs to unload, and he does. He will get it unloaded as the circuit comes out. He's also committing to the front gates. A lot of action here trying to split Sziky's attention. But so far, so good. The Zealots get melted by that engagement, and it doesn't look like any workers went down. How did Sziky hold all of that?
Calcs in the main, and he made a bulwark instead of another matrix.
Oh
my god, this is a matrix, so it would easily be pushed back, but now they're just going to sit here, be super annoying. They can't get those ones. Oh, never mind. I was going to say they can't get those ones on the Geyser, but they can.
They sure can.
Very wasteful from OyA to attack into that natural, and now he's going to get punished here with the counterattack.
Yeah, he's got to peel off the Positrons to deal with these calcs, and Sziky's on top of it, getting his APM up there. A prostration stage has started. He needs to restock the gas miners. Still 2 base to 2 base. The third is being taken at 3 o'clock for Sziky. I don't think OyA is actually out of this game yet, but it's definitely looking more Sziky favored. You look at the worker count. That's one of the main reasons why OyA is not such a terrible spot. And he's even got the gas caps down south. Obviously, that natural coming up online here, and a single artisan harvesting from the ridge, having to pull away because the Zeth sees it. Some Hydras are being turned into Bactyls back at home. Honestly, the longer this game goes, I think OyA has a favorable composition.
I guess the harass isn't that big a deal when he's oversaturated already. But how is he going to get a third here? He doesn't have the army, and he's been, like I said, very wasteful, I feel like, with his attacks on the natural. He needed to keep those units alive because it's no good to sit back, punish, stack, defense, and tech. You need to sort of keep a bit of map presence, I feel like, to take that third. Because I feel like, yeah, you're going to be able to get into whatever tech you want here, but I feel like Zerg's going to grow so much by that time, it's not going to matter. And Akantor's in particular, if that's what he sort of sticks with, are not that good. Like, once the right units come out for Zerg, they can sort of just be picked off. We'll see. I mean, he's gotten a bunch of zealots out again. I'm just thinking, like, how much better it could have been, you know?
Yeah, one big problem here too is that one of his artisans at the 9 o'clock isn't harvesting from that geyser, so he's a little bit down the effective money he could have. A lot of minerals. Wouldn't mind seeing a ton of gateway ads.
Yeah, I'd love to see sycophants here. I think it'd be alright. Ben Prize obviously are very good, I suppose. Yeah. I just think when you got 2 prostrations, sometimes you don't have the gas. Sycophants, I think, are surprisingly worth it for their cost. It does have a bunch of zealots out again, though. You know, I feel like to some extent, Sziky has been called out here for over-relying on the Lyralist. It's really not that great versus Zealot Ecclesiast and stuff from the Ardent.
Yeah.
You know, you didn't get any of the Likislist, which sort of like hard counter the Ecclesiast ball. You know what I mean? So this army's still like something for OyA, but he doesn't want to be out here in the middle of the map. That's true. I think this is a mistake. Like, he does pull back a little bit.
Well, you say that. I think with the if there were some more Acantors, if there was some more chaff here for the Positrons to be tanking, again, that's why I wish there were way more like gateways coming out, so you could just spam out those zealots, get some Dracodons as well, a little bit.
Sycophants,
you know,
stack them on the Positrons, being pretty good. Because Positrons actually do very well when they're sort of moving into the enemy, and you start a step closer and closer. I think it could be a pretty good comp. Especially against what we see here. There isn't any like long-range heavy hitters except the Bactylist, which I think a few Sycophants can at least help against. The rest is quite short-range and susceptible to splash.
Okay, Sziky has half a saturated base at the 3 o'clock where 2 quads are doing interpretive dance. We have 2 other hatches have come down, not yet saturated. Yep. I think with the calculus count, he can actually contend with the Positrons if he gets the jump on him. And yeah, this is a big split, but it could turn really, really fast for OyA. Look at all that stacked up air. They're getting checked. Absolutely checked right now.
Yeah, and as I was saying, Positrons do like to get in close. But what are the calculus doing here? They can't really do anything to that pariah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't rely on calculus like that when your opponent has the armored comp. They were sort of a dead loss there. And he eviscerated that army completely. Now
if he had Zoryus, right, that would be a different story. You get that armor in, the calcs can start to activate. Another thing that's worth pointing out, there's no more shield sustain. So I do think the Hydras could have focused down the pariah. But one thing I have noticed, and I can't tell if Sziky still does it, 4th base coming for OyA now at 9 o'clock with the double gas, by the way.
Nice.
I think that Sziky does sometimes overmorph his units. Like, he's the guy that will make every Zeth into a Vorv. And maybe that extends to the Hydras into the Bactylisks as well. You need that anti-armor somehow. And if it's not going to come from the Zoryus, it's got to come from somewhere. Maybe Mass Hydra could have helped him out with the focus fire. And now, this is what I wanted to see, and OyA is doing perfectly. He is using Malefactor on the Pariah, not the Akantor. The front line will become much tankier, and it will do that splash damage more consistently. You can't dodge the Pariah attack.
I wonder if the Positron could be a candidate, just because it can attack, you know, a bunch of stuff quickly, and it could benefit a lot from having more health. But the Pariah will definitely do work here. Look, if any more calculus come out, Sziky's going to be crying. But it doesn't seem like that's the case. He's going to stick with Hydras trying to defend this now. I think he's going to lose this base, but he's still going to be in the game. Well, hang on a minute. He's going to commit with the army. I'm not sure if that's a mistake or a
well, hold on. There's a loose Pariah. It's going to get focused down. The Mind Tyrant able to be canceled. It's not providing its buff to the other one. It's too far away. And now the focus fire is coming in. They only have shields left, being hunted down by the Hydralisks. Now, there are still a lot of Protoss units here, including Pariahs. But now the Remax comes in for Sziky.
Kanoga, do you want the truth?
Yes.
He's fighting with one hand behind his back because those units just killing the third. You know, if you had that front line, probably could have still taken this fight. And as is, I still think it's totally worth it because he killed a bunch of workers here. He didn't trade too badly given that he's like got a pretty high tech. I'm still liking it a lot for OyA. He's going to focus his Hatchos, I think, no problem. Does the Pariah get a boost from that? I guess not.
Well, it didn't consume the corpse, I guess. Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Yeah, the corpse of the Hatchos. Oh, because it regressed, right?
Yeah. Well, we do usually do that, but for whatever reason, for structures, I guess it didn't work out. Either way, though, the Pariah does end up going up. Okay.
Yeah.
Where's that at? He's adding some static defense to 9 o'clock. Looks like the Argosy is in the main somewhere. Yep, right next to all the prostration. Imagine a Crucible in this spacer. Maybe 2.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sick. He's got the gas. He's getting more malefactors, although their usage so far hasn't really been that good. I mean, if he does malefactor the Acantors as well, I think it's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Now, here's the thing. Sziky's taken a blow, but he does have the potential to shoot ahead again if OyA doesn't keep the pressure on. And the Argosy is going to take a long time to actually do anything here.
Scouting out 9 o'clock. Is Sziky going to feel comfy with that information that the Protoss is on 4 base? Because Sziky himself is only on 4 base. And it's not even really
debate
true.
In chat about defending these calcs, right? I got to weigh in real quick.
Okay.
I don't think getting 2 matrix per base is that big a deal because you need that anyway against things like Gorg. There could be drops at any time. Zerg has a lot of harass options. Now, this definitely is a mistake that he didn't put it in the mineral line. But I really don't think it's that big a deal to get a matrix in your base because it needs defense anyway. And for everyone saying Stargate, I don't think it's worth it at all against Stargate just for this. 2 calcs is not that hard to kill, man. You just need something that can actually shoot them. That's the trouble he's having right now. Now, what is that Argosy going to make?
Oh my god! Oh my god! He had 19 workers on that seeded.
Why? It didn't have to happen. It didn't have to happen.
Oh my god! He just lost all of his 3rd base workers. Solarian is in production. OyA's army is still pretty sick. Vorvs have just been made though. Now there's the armor end.
He needs the Acantors. He's going in without all his help here. And
all right.
Very badly.
Cycling back.
Want to help once again. Wasteful is the word I have to use, but here come the Acantors. The range is too short. The malefactors are kind of too far in front. He needs the Acantors to almost sort of lead. There's so many backlists here, man. I don't know if he can break through unless he really just runs into Acantor range.
Oh, the Pariahs are going to go down. All the Hydra is still able to deal with it. Still no focus fire. There's so many Acantors, man. And they do have that extra durability courtesy of the Mind Tyrants. Look at that!
Okay.
They're starting to turn over. Sziky needed to focus up a little bit more. His tier 2 just finished in the natural.
Yeah, I don't know. He is still going to get cleaned up here, I think. Imagine if the Acantors had been in the fight from the start. This would look so different. Well, hang on. Okay, is there enough of a spread here? There's 2 more Pariahs coming up. That is going to be a key unit here. In these small-scale engagements, they are king. Oh, and he just slaps that back to us. He does push him back. Well done.
Wow, okay. So OyA still remains in the fight, despite his colossal losses at the 3rd base. Those 2 calculists did not look like they would have worked out very well. And then
Sziky is growing everywhere, and OyA has not been diligent about looking at all these other bases. I mean, if you had like a couple Drax or something at every base, like hitting these right now, I guess not the top right one, but the rest of them, like they could easily be taken down. Acantors are going to rotate around. Do we have tier 2?
I don't like this. This is really rough here for OyA in that angle of attack. And yeah, he's going to end up stumbling upon the sort of interior 6 o'clock, and the Solarian reveals itself.
Okay, counterattack coming in. Now, it could catch some units at the rally, but other than that, I feel like it's not going to work out. Oh, it is only his F4. Okay, well, in that case, well, hang on a minute. This could still be bad.
Oh, he's going to surround. He's going to kill the Mind Tyrants, dude.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Not the best micro from OyA here. Really could have just retreated to his stack defense, but he's going to lose them.
Oh, the last of them goes, yeah. So these are the Z4 definitely pays for itself there. It's only minerals.
Why is he going to fight out here, man? He's got so much defenses back here, but he's just stood there and took it. But he's going to kill these all now.
Yeah, he should be able to throw this one back, but it is kind of cutting his ability. Look, he's got a couple of, not infested Zerg, the opposite of that, dominated Zerg, mind-controlled Zerg. Okay, I want to point this out. Sziky went to tier 2. He's got his Ulgorg. He's getting Ultras out now. He has made a Matravel Nest. He can do some of the same things that he did in the last game. I want to point this out. He's got almost no workers at all these satellite bases. Half saturated, not even a 3rd saturated max at that sort of 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock base here. The other thing that's worth pointing out, he's got almost no workers, except for mining Vespene. He's got almost no minerals. Minerals are your scaling factor. This is what you do to get your army to be a bigger size, to have the chaff you need to take some of these larger scale army fights.
Especially with these Hydras, right? I mean, they're not very gas heavy. Zoyus just popping out now, going to be pretty good. I mean, he's going to turn into Ultra Cores, I suppose. But a combination of Zoyus and Ultra Cores is pretty good. Now, this army looks very menacing for OyA here. I don't think there's really the unit Zerg needs at this time. Now, I think sacking another base is totally fine for Zerg here, though. I think it is. It's not too bad being undersaturated because you might lose any of these given bases. Oh, but I don't know.
Hold on.
To engage.
How is he going to kill the Solarians? He has nothing that shoots up in a meaningful way. Now, maybe it doesn't matter if the ground army gets wiped, but we still have so many Acantors. They're trying to deal with all the Convolus spotting the Brood spawn under there, but the armor end is going really, really well for Sziky right now. Maelstrom to slow them down. I don't think they're retreating anytime soon, buddy. But the Pariahs are just unkillable, it feels like. There's so many Mind Tyrants. They are not being well controlled, even some of them outside of the Acantor range, and the Solarians still march on. It looks like just narrowly OyA will end up being able to navigate through this, and he might be able to finish the job here. We do have some Lakers coming. That will just incidentally do damage to your Mind Tyrants. You really got to watch out for those. Oh, that's not a great burrow there. Sziky trying to cycle back. He's trying to get his Hydras onto the Solarians, and he's constantly reducing their armor. The Hydras are going to be able to pop this first one.
Well, he's not pulling back. No micro on those. Or he loses one.
Second one arrives. This is still a really good front from the Protoss.
Honestly, amazing defense from Sziky. I keep saying it, man. You put Convolus on high ground, they're amazing.
They are really good. Yeah.
Yeah. He did take out some of those Acantors as well. Not many of them. There's 8 here. Because I feel like it doesn't matter how many roller records you make, just every Cantor attack cooldown, they'll all die.
Yeah.
I would love to see him throw down a bunch of circuits here. A couple of spear tiffs would really hold this off easily.
Yeah, you think about the bounce damage versus the stewards. You can't really even use the Solarians if you have like 2 or 3 of those. Now he's going to go ahead and set up shop at this 3 o'clock.
I can't even say like Sprafe and Speed are underrated because they're not even underrated, but you still just need to use the damn things, you know? But yeah, he has enough now. And like I was saying, I feel like losing a base is okay here for Sziky. He can't keep going, but he needs to solidify his defense. He needs like maybe more backlist. I'm not sure what would be best for long range. Maybe even those Protaphalors, who knows? But yeah, the static defense on this high ground would be really strong. He gets a Circa, shockingly. I don't think that was the call. I think he needs anti-air first. Because the Acantor's going to have a hard time getting up the ramp against this brain shoot, especially these Litmus.
Oh no, the poor tyrannized Droleth's only 1 remains.
Is he going to take it later? He's going to notice that? That would be so sick. All right, the Protoss army roaming down. He's looking to clean those other bases.
I don't know. You can't attack this. You can't attack this right now, right? Like, there's no way you can actually bust this.
Well, I don't know. The Solarians can sort of go in and just like, oh no, if that traitor get some pot shots.
Oh wait, hold on. The Acantors actually have range. The Acantors have range to attack here. We need to see that same sort. Oh, and a Straitholeth is coming. Maybe he can make something happen with that with the Plague. That's what he might need, but I think it might be hitting a little bit too late. Those Vilgoricors are going down. The Bactalisks and the Convolutks are trying their best, but the Solarians are so far afield. All right, we got more like siphoning over from their original spot, trying to range down from the high ground. The Brute Spawn are popping. They're getting a lot of armor rend. But remember, the Mind Tyrants...
It pops at the 3rd. It's exactly where he needed it to be.
Okay, what's he going to do with it? He's just putting it down the Carapace Swarm. That's right. And that shields up to 2,000 damage.
That might be enough. It's so close, man. He's trying to break through here. OyA's saying he can do it. I think he might just be able to get through. The Solarion's still standing strong. What can take them down? The Straitholeth's still doing its best, but the Cantor shot's still coming in. Take out the swarms. Oh, and who was under the swarm? It wasn't Sziky's units under the swarm. It was enemy Hydralisks.
They've come up.
What has he got left?
Yeah. I mean, here's the problem, right? He doesn't have any anti-air. He does get a Plague off. Yeah. That's working out pretty well, but he has no more anti-air. It doesn't matter that the Lakers are there. You don't even need the detection. A Didact and Witnesses come in anyway. Maybe we'll see a Stasis. I don't even think we need to. GG has to be called after 22 minutes. OyA completes the upset and reminds us who he's made of.
Sick game. That was really good. I gotta say it again. I know I'm like beating a dead horse, but a couple spear tiff there, man. Totally different fight.
Yeah, it has to be said,
man. On those high ground bases, you gotta spam that static defense down, man. It's pretty gas cheap, but as you say, he was low on workers, I suppose. He needs to take the couple keys out of Jack and Lacey's book, get that worker count, spam the shit out of that static defense, and you're looking good there. But I got to say, he did well to defend with what he had. I think he really gave it a good go there, and you got to give OyA credit for like organizing that really complicated army.
Yeah,
I got to say, he could have thrown out a few maelstroms at least.
Yeah, he did once or twice. Yeah, and by the way, if you throw them out on corpses, they do give you the attack speed buff. But a lot of the times, the pariahs are still working that whole time. So you know how it goes. So let's see. I mean, OyA's got it. And we do have the Gamba up already for OyA versus WolFix. Feel free to go for it there.
Eternal apparently bet correctly that time. How does he know? The gambling savant.
Yeah, I guess so. He's definitely got it. Waiting for WolFix's pick here. Reminder, on Twitch, you get your Gamba. He wants to do... Oh, he wants to do Frozen Sylphid. We actually haven't seen this one in a little bit.
I mean, it's changed quite a bit from actual Sylphid, by the way. Well, I say quite a bit. It could be changed more, it could be changed less. You know, it could go away. But, it's not like regular Sylphid, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah, we got... Because it's WolFix, you got to probably bump out here. You know how
Oh, right, indeed. Well, have we had WolFix and OyA, though?
Yeah. That was game 1.
We have? Oh, yeah. Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, Potidaea.
Farewell.
Farewell, sir. Wait for OyA to pop in.
Shambler says, broke Gamba, or does he mean he's broke?
Broke Gamba. He didn't have much to bet. I think that's what he means. Is the Terran going to make it? Oh, it's broke as in it doesn't work. Oh, I see.
Well, maybe it doesn't work because he bet on the wrong person. I don't know. I think it works. Redo it so someone can actually bet. Oh, prediction result. It was a prediction apparently. No, I mean it looks good to me.
Try it again. Try it again. Let's see if it works out. Yeah, nobody. It didn't look like it was working. To Shambler's credit, rare Shambler credit.
I was watching on YouTube, but I'm coming to Twitch now, so I can see how many minerals I'm building up and not wasting.
That was a really cool game of Cosmonarchy right there. That was.
It was. Yeah, and I mean, both players aware of sort of the comps they can build, so it was pretty cool. I will say, Sziky, maybe he could have gone tier 2 sooner, but once he was there, I think he definitely had the right units. The Astray Flash definitely would have been instrumental if he was able to hold there. Oh, he's saying it says Sziky versus OyA. That's why it's wrong. It should be WolFix versus OyA. I mean, you can figure out. Maybe Sziky can win even though he's not in the game. I don't know.
All right. OyA is joined. WolFix is joined. We'll see if they are ready. It looks like they are. So.
I think the Gamba has the wrong players. It says Sziky versus OyA.
Oh, okay. I'll fix that in a second, guys. Don't worry. I am in control of the simulation.
He's in control of the Matrix, guys.
I am in control of the simulation. I will fix everything. And I'll even fix that overlay in a second. But WolFix is in the bottom left of Frozen Sylphid. I'm going to jump up to high lat here. And we do indeed have him rocking out as some kind of brown, saddle brown Terran. At 12 o'clock, we have OyA, the Ultramarine Protoss. And now, to fix everything.
Yeah, so you might look at this main and be like, oh, yeah, it's normal Sylphid. But if you look down at the thirds, it's considerably more defensible. And we have that Cosmonarchy feature, the neutral anchor, which I hope we get to see made use of, because I think it's pretty cool that we can do that here in Cosmonarchy. Anyone can garrison it, but whoever gets there first, it's just theirs until they leave, and then someone else can. Oh, you can't see them in the fog. It's a bit of a shame. Oh, is that a feature a mapper can fix?
Yeah, they can either reveal the Fog of War layer for all players, or they can create a map revealer.
Oh, well, shout out whoever was making this map. I think BDB plus Jujic, I think it is. Put that revealer for the anchor, just because it's cool for casters and to see it there.
Yep. It was BDB and Jujic combining. Hey, look at this. Double stockade again. WolFix really wants to Bio versus Toss and Mech versus Zerg. I like it.
Yeah, okay, interesting. I feel like none of these players are going to be aware of that anchor unless, you can see it on the map. Well, let's see. Is he going to go Eidolon, do you suppose? Or is he going to double down on this sort of Cyprian play? Because I feel like the Eidolons came too late. The mass Cyprian, he tried that first attack, which wasn't too bad, but after that, it was clear the Cyprians really just weren't quite worth it.
Yeah, it didn't feel like Cyprian scaled up very well, but it did feel like they gave him some leverage. It's just that he went for a more slow eco growth after that I think really kind of gutted him. So that's my take on it anyway.
Well, here comes the scout. He's going to find that double gate at least. I think OyA's, maybe this is just because I like playing this way. I like that he's doing it, but he's tuned into sort of the best ways to open. I think 3 gates versus Zerg, 2 gates Terran is pretty good. The lattice does come up. And again, versus Stockade, I don't favor this at all, but because he doesn't know it's Stockade, if it was Fulcrum's here, I think this would be quite good because you really put Terran on notice that they have to be very careful about defense. But versus Bio, I feel like it's going to be a waste as the game goes on.
Well, it's definitely something that we got to see over time because as far as I'm concerned, with that Hierophant killing the scout, locking out the info, and the lattice coming, I don't know if WolFix knows what to expect, right? So he's kind of like the conversation is different because he just doesn't have the same information about things. So when he scouts something, does he know what the response is? Does he even know what that unit or structure makes and does? You know what I mean? That's where WolFix is at. And to some degree, the other players can be like that too. There's a lot of units to learn, but WolFix has to be more like, I'm confident in my own style. I'm going to do my own thing, and that's going to work out fine. That's what he has to be reliant on more than, being able to make a read about the game state. Does that make sense?
True. Yeah, absolutely. Look, I like this Hierophant, by the way. He's able to poke in and out without any danger, really. Now, here's the thing. Because WolFix is not relying on sitting back behind an anchor, he wants to get the Cyprian count and fight on the map. Sims aren't going to be that useful. I'm trying to think. It is going to be Idols again.
Yep.
I don't really favor it that much. I mean, it's not bad, but I just feel like Drax are better cost for cost. if you have a really high amount of idols, maybe, but then the question is, well, by that time, what kind of army does Terran have, where it also scales well against idols? So we'll see how this works out. But he's going to have enough to sort of defend any aggression, I think. I guess that's the upshot of having 3 productive structures instead of just 2. But I mean, with more stockades coming up, is WolFix even thinking of expanding here?
This does look like an earlier 4 stockade timing than before. I think it was a treasury after 2, and then he went into the 4 after, if I'm remembering correctly, on Potidaea.
So, okay, this is Sim coming out, by the way, but I don't think it's going to do anything in this case. It'll get slapped by Cyprians. You do not want to engage with those Hierophants, man. They will get killed by those Cyprians, but he does take out a Mav, so, you know, one less Terran in the world, I guess. But those Mavs kind of drop like flies. I'm not too impressed. Shambler must sub to the channel.
Oh, he was asking about the how does he get the crown in the chat? You have to be a Twitch sub and not a Prime sub, I think. It's kind of weird. Or maybe you can customize your identity about like what you get there. All right, let's see.
Arbor says he's been telling OyA how to play. And he said don't rely on Drax for DPS. I mean, fair enough, I suppose. But I feel like you do need like a certain Drac count, and then you start making other stuff. But I will see how the idols go. I mean, they're trying to hit that Huracan. It's really the Drax that killed it. The idols struggle against it a little bit. Now he's killed them all, though. Once again, WolFix is being like way too confident, I feel like, this Cyprian-based army. It's a shame there's nothing in that anchor. That'd be super annoying right now. But he does kill some of those Mavs. Not the best concave for OyA. Again, he's clumping up so much against this bio. I feel like he needs to just get like the longest line possible and then just start doing like stereotypical Dragoon dancing, you know? And then he would kind of crush this. But as is, he does push it back, so not bad for Protoss.
Well, Nexus finishes up back at home. The Treasury is on the way for WolFix, as well as his Covenant. So I think he's going to be going for the Eidolon. I don't know if anybody got him up to speed about the Savant in those longer games.
Well, I mean, again, I don't really favor the Savant like going like through the long game. I feel like it's only good for like early defense, and then you're kind of better off getting Eidolons. I mean, it's not that a bunch of Savants stacked in area isn't really, really good. It's just that Eidolons, I think, can be even better.
Yeah.
Because you just have the sort of mobility and you can snipe stuff, you know what I mean?
And WolFix, I mean, most Terran players don't want to spend 100 gas on a Shaman. I understand that. But it does make me wonder, like, versus the Idols, where there's that little splash happening. I wonder about that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, the thing is about Savants, right? Even though you think, like, well, they're all clumped, I can go splash them and kill them. The problem is, once they're set up, there's such a dense, like, piece of DPS, you can't really get close to them. I mean, with long-range stuff, sure, but, like, say, like, I don't know, like Positrons or Storm or Idols, it's not really going to be viable to try and splash the clump, because the clump will just kill anything that gets near it.
All right, Ardent Authority at the natural. So, speaking of splash, that's definitely going to be an option here. We saw Idol, Positron, a Cantor in that last game. Pariahs did make themselves known as well. Also, I don't think the pros know anything about the Terran Anchor, by the way, like the neutral one.
That is a shame.
I don't think they have
seen it.
They've seen it, but I don't think. Yeah, like is it just a doodad or something? No, I don't think they know they can garrison neutral stuff. So
that is a shame.
And if we say so, like I never type as an admin or whatever, you know, as a form, I never tell them information or whatever. But I will say, like, even if we told them, hey, you can do that, would they even bother? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right.
Or would they bait them in? You know.
Putting a Cantor in there, man, would do well. All right, OyA has to pull back here. We'll see if he can get the engage. There's a couple of Eidolons in there, but, you know, just a couple aren't that menacing. Where is the Cantor? The Ardent is not done yet. I mean, he's got a couple, like, Manifolds in here, a couple of Sims. I mean, theoretically, they can get some value on the Huracans, I suppose. I don't think you want to go back into the natural. I don't know. I feel like if you go back in the natural, it's going to be too narrow an engage. Let's see how this goes. Once again, the Mavs are going to be taking out pretty quickly. That Brave Zealot doing a lot of attacking. Yeah, you know what? Protoss just has so much stuff here. I don't think he's going to make trouble. I think he's going to absolutely slap this army. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was not a good engagement there from WolFix, coming in a little bit overconfident. He added a star pad behind it. His Cleric and Cyprian will be taken out. Most of the Eidolons were able to escape at the end of the day, so there is that at least. And he's got a big stack of Mavericks. I didn't see him stim. Honestly, if he knew about the anchor, the Eidolons could go right up in there and defend this third base, but that doesn't even look like where WolFix wants to attack right now.
Well, maybe he's aware of the anchor. He's trying to avoid it. I don't know. But at any rate, he can put a lot of pressure here. Yeah, I don't know if WolFix can actually hold. The Eidolons in the back can strike with impunity, but only until they're the only unit left. And then they would absolutely destroy. Only 4 of them. Not going to be enough. Maybe I was wrong. If he had a few Savants, he might still be alive here. But as it is, well, I mean, the Eidolons are going to do their best to get that value from long range. And a lot of this stuff is injured.
Well, he doesn't have any units in production is the problem, man. WolFix has a lot of money, but no units coming. It's only these 5 Eidolons separating him from death. 8 Mavericks just got queued up, but it's going to be 11 seconds before they hit the deck.
Yeah, I think he's gonna kill his third at least. Yeah, he can take that out, no problem. And there's still Hierophants here to slow stuff down. So absolutely no chance here. WolFix, I think, has been evicted from this game, and OyA is keen for the rematch with Sziky. He has no time for this Terran silliness. Well, that said, he is going to stay in the game. He's still on his natural, only 26 units. He finally, puts his hands back on the keyboard, starts making stuff again. But the third coming for OyA here, I mean, I don't know. This looks very good for Protoss. Look at the worker count alone. I think this is basically over.
It does feel that way, right? And I think this is what happens when you do this treasury expand stuff. Your worker count scales way slower. You need way more. Maverick will scout that there is a third base coming up. And the workers will riot and kick him out. You're not welcome here.
We told you Gateway was bad. No, Shopkeeper Dog. It's better than Lattice, for sure. Anyway, he's going to come in for the killing blow. A lot of Mavericks here, but I mean, Mavericks are just born to die, man. That's all they do.
Born to die. Born to
show
skim.
Sziky this. Send Sziky this clip to trigger him, because he's saying, like, oh, Mavericks might be other shoes. No, man, they're getting splattered today. The Cantor is crawling across. I feel like that's like the death knell. Once it arrives, it's going to be the last of its hopes. Where is all the gas going? No more Eidolons are being made here.
That's right. Yeah, he's going to queue up a few now. Looks like
gas,
6 of them have been put into the production queue. And yeah, honestly, like,
Dude.
he just doesn't really have... He doesn't have any gas caps. He doesn't have the Talos harvesting the Vespene for a bit more efficiency. Not min-maxing right now. WolFix definitely under the pump. The Cantor is arriving. So too is the Positron. If he can focus down those splash units, the Idol has fallen. But there's only the Eidolons left. He's trying to stick onto the Cantor. Spoiler alert. He might get it. But no, he won't. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. And then the dying shot kills another Eidolon anyway. So Mavericks are on the way.
That's not an Anseal, that's a Talos. It has to fly away.
Ah, yes.
Perfect way to end it. He's like, all right, enough of this frontline fighting. I'm going to hit him where it hurts.
WolFix hasn't even panned over yet, so...
WolFix really crippled himself here not making a ministry, by the way. It's just been purely a downside. I wonder how much gas went into Talos, you know? Like
surely he types GG. No. Okay, there it is.
No.
He panned over he panned over his... I was waiting for that on the minimap, dude. I was so ready. Unfortunately, WolFix will end up falling there. I think those more aggressive openers from OyA, the way that he was doing that, definitely ended up working in his favor there. And so now he's basically, WolFix has to sit back and think, okay, we're not quite halfway done. We're a little bit under that. That was our 5th game played. And so we are going to 11 games. There's still plenty of room for WolFix to get on the board, but it's not looking good for him. And he is going to need to spend some time figuring out what he's going to do in the next match. And he needs to also think about which race is he going to go up against, right? Is he going to have another try against Sziky? Has he already planned that? Or is this going to be, OyA finishing it off? I'm not sure what the answer is just yet, but I do know that this is going to be a
towards Sziky in this one.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he's got time to recalibrate and sort of come back and figure out what to do. I think for WolFix, right, one of the big problems is this early investment into Cyprians. They are good at like early defense, but he makes so many, and it's very hard to make them work with an attack. And we saw OyA handled it really well there. I think it would be better if he plays like more just defensive behind an anchor, and for the love of God, just get a ministry. I don't think these treasuries are working out. I think he just put himself behind with that.
Yeah, it's a rough one. I mean, it a lot of times does end up coming down to knowledge, to understanding in that way. Oh, Sziky, good manner Sziky. He just let OyA know that Battle Spectre, which is what he picked, is always cross-spawn. And so that's very, very helpful.
This would be technically possible in Brood War, right? There's nothing in Cosmonarchy that enables this, is there? Except for the fact that we're always in, the game mode that can use triggers.
I don't think you can. Maybe you could. I'm not really an expert on what's possible in the current version, but I think in order to, without using EUDs, you could probably do some jank randomization. But it would require you to.
UMS. Yeah, you can do randomization without UMS. I mean, without EUD, sorry.
Yeah, without EUD. No, that's not what I mean. I'm thinking about how you have to, like, create the units at the right spot, get them in the right position, do all the things right. Like, so, and then do the randomization. The randomization part is definitely possible, but we'll have to find out what's going to happen here as we get our Gambit prediction going on.
I just think it's a cool feature, right? That this is a 4-blow map that's only cross-spawn. I think it's something that should be explored.
I think so, too. Let's find out some more about what's going on. I'm sure the mappers will figure something out if they want to try to emulate this sort of thing. It's not a completely, surprise move. It's not something that has never been heard from before. OyA in the top right is going to be our orange Protoss, and in the bottom left we have Sziky as the dark green Zerg. One thing that you can see about the way that the matchup goes, as far as like when this particular map is played, you could see that the K grid takes a while to spread, right? So that's just something that
Jack was saying to me, like, oh, and it's broken, there's no way, like, you can play with that. And I was like, well, I mean, it's not that slow. I mean, look, he's already where he needs it to be if he wanted to go towards the ramp. And I was also wondering, could that be like a feature for mappers where they like don't want you to spread too fast? I don't know. But anyway, it only takes a little while. Like,
yeah, it does. If Sziky wanted to put his pool down below the ridge, that would be one thing that doesn't always happen, right? Like he had to wait a little bit more for his first pool timing. So there are some considerations, but maybe that's something that can also be tweaked. You just have to find a way to like instantly spread the K grid, which is a possibility.
Well, couldn't you just put a neutral K grid, kill it, and then move everyone?
You could, but then it would be K grid for everybody. If you create the unit with a trigger.
Fine. If you doesn't do any harm,
that's true. It would just look a little bit funky. It's like, there's the Ministry is making. What did they do? He's playing the infested faction.
Yeah, that'd be a sick faction. Well, I mean, we sort of have that, but it's kind of the opposite, isn't it? It's like, well, what if the Terran infests the Zerg? That's the faction we have.
Well, they're worshippers. They love the Zerg.
I thought that Zerg was sort of like under their thumb, though.
No, they're basically like, if you play that mission, the mission that we have where you play against them, the Nidus Trinity mentions that they are, the Zerg are their sacred beasts, and we must, serve them in some ways, and so, like, that's how there's a possibility. I'm not saying, like, some Terrans don't opportunistically try to do that, but the religious doctrine is that the Zerg are the saviors. The Zerg are the ones that will deliver us from human folly.
I mean, you got to rep those, the Protoss Simp faction. That's the best Terran faction.
Oh yeah, the Golden Republic. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Big up.
Zealot comes out
instead of a Legionnaire.
Yeah, just a hater on Hierophant, man. That's what he needs. That's the best first unit because you can easily handle these units. I mean, whatever. It's probably fine. I'm just a hater if he doesn't make Hierophants. Oh man, I don't know. He's losing a lot of health on that. That's actually pretty bad because if it comes to a later fight, that's going to be quite impactful.
Third gateway coming up here. Same opener that OyA did last time. We saw this turn into a very interesting macro game.
Do not tell Sziky he can borrow or it's all over for us.
No, he does it sometimes. He definitely does with these.
Yeah, but imagine he could just spread these out in the main and you would like spend so long finding them, but he just always neglects to do so. Like, I'm sure he knows it exists, right? I'm just saying he doesn't know how exploitable it is. Ooh. Is he going to get the kill? No, he's not going to commit.
Oh, yeah, he is. Yeah, nice. He is.
Ooh.
Nice selection there. Sussing out the mind games for it. Finally, his Zets will go down. He gets a kill, ties him up. Third base, or natural rather, is going to come up here for OyA. It's the third base of the game, technically, so I guess I wasn't really wrong. No expansion for Sziky. Is going for that pool and the pool upgrade, and he's adding a K-Grint for circuits. So he doesn't actually feel like it's as dangerous as Near Impact. In some ways, that could bite him. I love
Shambler in chat. It's like he's actually here as like a representative of the Orion.
Yeah, lower rep Shambler coming in.
I want to see Sziky rely less on Lyrilisks this time. I feel like they were not very good last game. It's not that they were a waste of money. It's just that the fact that he was thinking they held him off caused him some trouble. Now he's going to try and come in here. That injured Zealot, man, I'm telling you, the damage it took, it'll be a big deal. Here he comes. He's going to commit. Maybe it's enough, or there's a bunch of Zephs, though. Or he's taking a lot of damage on that other Zealot as well. No, he does lose it. I mean, Sziky knows he can try this. Although he needs to be careful. Once it's only Quazzlers, they struggle big time. 2 circles will keep him safe here, though.
Yep, and he goes straight for that Calcure Lake, as you mentioned. Oh, an Ecclesiast. Oh, the Ecclesiast actually dies. Ooh. That was a bit of a mishap on the control. A bit of a worker transfer coming on.
A little bit faster for that little moment.
Yes, that's right. He says, he does a Gandalf. Fly, you fools.
Okay, how many workers would have to be transferring for like an Ecclesiast dying to move them faster to be worth it?
I mean, that's a lot of gas. 50 gas in the early game.
Right? It'd have to be a lot.
If you told me it was a vassal, I was like, okay, yeah, I can see that.
True. Well, is it the strat? You just constantly sacrifice vassals on your gas? No, obviously you just put another worker there for less cost than a single vassal.
Okay, yeah. The thing is, would the movement speed buff increase the mining rate of the workers enough to pay for more than the vassal? That's the question.
Well, for gas, it certainly doesn't, because it's a single node. You just put 3 and you're done,
Right.
But if you had a base that was like 8 geysers or something.
Yeah. All right, the Nats are leaving the base. They're going to be earmarked for...
This is dicey for Zerg, man. I mean, the circus will help from the top, but this is like just a superior force for Protoss by far. It is Lyralists again, but they're not going to do that much.
No, there's only one of them done right now anyway. Okay, hold on. This is kind of single file here from OyA, but he does have a lot of Ecclesiasts trying to do the best on the shield sustain. Zethicors are coming out. Those are going to be good choices.
He's not doing the sort of dancing back and forth that you have to do yourself. You need to constantly pull them back. But I mean, the regen is doing well, but he will retreat to the circus. You know, I guess that's the thing about the Lyralist. Even if they might not be that strong in the fight necessarily, they can constantly retreat and come back without being in too much danger. So I think he will hold there. Not too bad a trade from OyA, but I feel like it could have been possible for him to break through there if things were a little different. Now the Calc is coming out. The Matrix is in place though. He puts it a bit skew if already to the side. If Sziky just like flies all the way in, you could definitely hit from the other side.
Oh, he's going back in another time though, and the circuit is not even halfway done. The K-Grid isn't even halfway done. That's going to be popped by the Ecclesiasts. Good target selection there. He should be able to get rid of a Droleth as well. And look, the Matrix is positioned. I feel like maybe Ziky's called out here by OyA's opener. Calibrated indeed.
He's gonna fly down.
Now
again, I feel like if he could fly all the way in, and he's going to do it. I mean, yeah, he's called out, but also realized there's a big weakness here. You can't like sort of cut corners like this.
Threading the needle, and look,
in the center.
It's almost all Ecclesiast, and Lakis came out. This is the other adaptation I wanted to talk about. The Zorkish Shroud is what he picked. That Matrix is probably going to go down if it's focused. The big worker count. He goes after a worker trade. That's never good versus Zerg, I feel like. Oh, yeah, you're losing workers, buddy. You're natural.
Yeah, and
it's been exploited.
Really is the key unit here, right? It's one of the best units against Ecclesiasts here in the early game. And yeah, look, again, he comes in here, he's like, well, you only built it on one side, you fool. I mean, I guess the other one finishes.
Oh,
but yeah,
my God.
I got to call out OyA there for trying to cut corners and being punished here. And I do not think he's going to break. I mean, he brought a Positron with him, but what's he going to do? He's got 3 Zealots and a Positron, you know? So he has to pull back and look at like the ruins of his base and be like, good Lord, what do I do now? I mean, I'm being dramatic, I suppose. He's still ahead. But yeah, like these matrices just not positioned correctly.
Yeah, he's probably scratching his head like, how many matrices do I need to build? Like, hello? But as of right now, the Positron is out. He can go ahead and try to clean it up.
Does one Positron win that fight? I mean, I guess we won't find out. Drax are here. Drax really are just an adequate unit for this. I think that's what you need. And, you know, imagine if in all these fights at the natural, by the way, if you had like 2 Drax in the back, I think that natural would be dead by now. Ooh, unlucky.
Unlucky. No remorph there without the initial investment. But look, fast Ulgorg from Sziky off of the 2 bases.
You all in chat need to, like, stop with these calculus, man. Like, they're not that hard to deal with. OyA is doing it to himself, man. They're not that hard to deal with. Look, I play Protoss. You know that. You know that. And I've been complaining about Zerg. I'm telling you, calcs are not the issue here. But, yeah, you know, if he was able to bust the natural right, he would be sort of in a winning position, but he was not able. And I think this demonstrates sort of the combined arms advantage I always talk about in Cosmonarchy, right? If you have like one of every unit, it's a lot better. Like the Zealot Ecclesiast definitely in the front are the best part of it, but a single Hierophant to maybe buff and even to catch fleeing units, a couple Drax in the back to add a lot of damage could be a big deal.
Interesting stuff here. I mean, right about now, I do agree with you about the compositional stuff. I also think it's really cute that there's going to be a Positron drop. Now, there is a Circuith to defend that in the main base, and there's one coming in the natural. But Sziky doesn't actually have units to scramble here, and he has no advance warning that the drop is going to come in. And of course, his attention is going to be initially brought. There's still no witness for detection, though.
In the last game, this turned out quite wasteful for OyA, though, because he has to commit at the front, although I guess he backs off this time. But that means there'll be instant reactions from Sziky here. Well, I guess he picks up. He doesn't lose any. So
that was really good splitting from our Zerg. He lost 1 worker. Positrons do a ton of damage. You can see how bruised a lot of those workers are. But he split his workers super fast.
They don't do huge damage, just that they're only draw lefts, you know? They only have so much health. Does need to task back on gas. But yeah, nicely done by Sziky, indeed. And it's not that easy in Cosmonarchy to split them necessarily, because unlike Brood War, they don't like freak out and go everywhere if you just sort of like spam all over the screen. Or he's going to do a drop in the natural this time, and he's caught the Circuit morphing. Oh no, it's just too late. But the fight is going down. Now, if OyA loses his army, that's not going to be good, but...
he's trying to thin... Oh, he's slipping the net. He's going in for the main base. Now here come the Zets. I think they're going to overpower the Positrons. Oh, they didn't even unload. Oh no. Where's he going to go? He's on a timer. He's on a timer as he tries to evacuate.
No. He's gonna lose it, man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. A Cantor's sync up. Okay, the Ultra Cores will need to respect those, but one of the things that we're missing here, Neblime, I'm going to say it, charlatans.
Yeah, you know what? Against this kind of comp, absolutely.
Yeah.
I just hate it versus like Hydroback. I think it's bad.
Yeah.
It's, against this comp, absolutely huge. And you say the Ultras have to respect them. I mean, yes, but if he gets sort of a surround, the Ultras are not going to die, man. They're just going to tear this apart. If you can split the Protoss army up and fight it in a bunch of 1v1s, you're going to crush it. If the Protoss army's in like a nice blob with a choke, they will do well. But yeah, I mean, you know, didn't get the harass he really needed to. He was a little bit bruised from those calcs. I mean, look, he's ahead in workers again, though. I mean, it's partially on Sziky because he hasn't saturated yet. I mean, these thirds are a bit late compared to OyA's. But nonetheless, I think OyA is doing pretty well here, given how tumultuous the early game was.
Yeah.
And Sziky, I think, needs to find a stable comp.
That's right, yeah. And I think the Ultra Cores will still help out a lot, but he is going to need something that can deal with the, like, actually do damage to the backline, right? And so he goes tier 2. I think you pair Protathalors with this, and you're in a really good spot.
Sziky needs 8 more Ultras this year. But I mean, I sort of agree. If Sziky just had like a full surround of Ultras on this sort of army, I still think you can get through those Acantors. I don't think they're that strong. Yeah, he's saying, all right, never again. I mean, honestly, it's not a bad thing because later in the game, that's still going to serve him well to defend his base. Because you never know when like Backstab is going to come. And Ultra Cores, for example, would come in and try and deal with this. Now, a few Vorfs sharking around. He loves to do those run-bys.
Yep.
I would like to see like a couple of just Wardens, I suppose, in the main. Now, we've got double prostration again. Lattice coming up. Is he going to go Argosy again? It worked well last game, but he has cross spawns here. It's not quite as easy to get across as near impact to the sort of orthogonal bases. It's going to be hard to get all the way across to Sziky's side of the map, so Sziky's got some time. But once again, the worker count is very low here, and he's going for tier 2. I can't help but feel like it's a mistake to go for tier 2 when you haven't even saturated these bases. You haven't even got the static defense up. The army is quite weak. I feel like you've got to invest in the defenses and then go tier 2.
Well, one thing he's doing really well with these Vorfs is he is keeping Sziky's or OyA's army on the other side of the map, and I'm kind of surprised about that. I really thought that we would see OyA take some more liberties with his units, or maybe only leave a couple of... He's got all these static defense structures. Why have them there if you're not going to disregard some sort of melee chaff? But at the same time...
Did OyA intend to go across the map at all? I don't think he does. I think he's just trying to defend right now. Although, that said, he's only got prostrations. He doesn't have an Argosy or an Ancestral. He doesn't have a like, late-game scaling buildings. So, I don't know. He's going to get that Malefactor on the Pariah.
I'm just so worried when Protoss ignores the Zerg for this long. I know that we've talked about the worker count difference and how Sziky does take a while to saturate his sort of the bases on the extremis, right? But he's getting a Kha'Zix. He's got 3 Scortriths, maybe 4. 3 of them are going to be in range. And, you know, sure, he's not really mining that much at that 9 o'clock. But this, yeah, these Vorfs are going to be dead to rights. They will. If
it was half deaths, man, they would have got that Nexus.
Yeah. We go back to that. 14 Protathalors in production. Whereas if Zyky's control is good, he will just snipe Mine Tyrants, snipe Acantors. There's still stuff that OyA can do, but it's going to depend on the engagement. And I don't think the pros have figured out what the Herald is. So they're definitely not going to have their ability to choose when to fight. You kind of choose when to engage. When you just lose a unit around the Herald, it just instantly speeds the rest of your army up. So that's one of the main reasons why you go for that unit. As of right now, it looks like 9 o'clock is going to be condemned, but there are already Ultra Cores and Protathalors out. He is waiting for a couple more Lyra. His Droleth might end up incidentally scouting this army outside his 9 o'clock. The Zets are ready for a run-by, but there's not really a good target yet. All right, here we go. Well, this is going to force Sziky into action.
Yeah, he's not going to be able to hold this. What are these Overleft doing? Oh no, free Overleft for Protoss. Or maybe not.
I will use it to transport my Pariah. I will enter the Heathenist section.
Like he had 6 o'clock. This wouldn't be happening now. This is not the engaged Protoss one.
No.
He's sort of getting split up with these narrows.
Okay.
Yeah, that Hatrosk is going to fall. He's going to push him back, but how much army might die here? The Acantor is now engaging. He learned his lesson from that one engagement when the Acantors weren't taking part, but they are a bit far back. Now the Malefactor Pariah is in the front line, but if we regress.
All right, well, let's see. Okay.
The Zealots out on top of the Protathalors going to push them back and do a lot.
That's what I was just going to say. The Protathalors are absolutely collapsing right here. The front line didn't have enough Ultra Cores in it, I think.
Yeah, it looks like OyA is going to win decisively here. Can he kill the army and end the game, I wonder? The Acantor's a bit far away, but his Protathalor's going to struggle. But every fight they survive in, they're going to get more and more value. The Pariah is going to be their easy victim, at least.
Oh, the linked Acantor to one of the only linked Mind Tyrant right now is all the way across the map. So this is going to stall OyA out a little bit.
Well, you say that, but he is redoing it on an Acantor now. If you get the shot in the back line, there is Scorchrifts here. They can probably hold out for now.
The Kha'Zix is giving so much extra damage. Look at that.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Kha'Zix plus Potafel was really good because you can sit the Kha'Zix really far away from the enemy. Help free Ultralisk at least.
All right, well, the Scorchrifts are getting active. The sort of army is getting split up towards the 6 o'clock. They won't bust it.
Yeah.
How are those Acantors still alive, man? The Protaphilos should focus them down. Pariahs are going to end up going down as well, though. And this is going to give free reign for Sziky to pick some targets here.
Yeah, like you say, the Kha'Zix is insane against this. I don't think he knows he can pick that up with an IRA left. That would be huge. He's still trying to push forward, though. Still thinks he can pull this off. He might be right, even as strong as his Trapdoors are. How much is left? The Mind Tyrant's still here, providing so much extra health. He's pushing forward those Zoyas.
Sziky is just stutter-stepping. He's not focusing down individual targets, so he's hemorrhaging a lot of his own chaff to those Mind Tyrants.
Yeah. A couple more Ultra Cores over at the space. There is this Kha'Zix for those Scorchrifts, so it's going to be very hard to break into here. Got to be very careful at that ramp. Ultra Core's going to have to do their best here, but is their best enough? It's going to be very hard for them to do anything.
They're trying to get active. Though. You know, the one thing about the Mind Tyrants on the front is it's kind of like the Medic Wall TVZ. It just, they don't automatically target it, and so the Ultra Cores kind of didn't do much in that fight. They're still getting a lot of value from the Scorchrith, and the Pariah cycle's back, but finally the Acantors are clicked on. Not the right ones, though. Those Mind Tyrants were at large and within range for so long.
Yeah, man, he's killing those Potaphilos now. I think that's it.
Yeah, that must be the end of the game here right about now.
Expanding and all this while putting his pressure on. And Sziky helpless. Potaphilos turning out not to be the choice. He's going to have no choice but to leave this game, I think.
Yeah, the biggest problem right now that I'm seeing in these fights is he's just not focusing on when his opponent gives up the Mind Tyrants. Another really big factor in those fights is that when the Zoryus got turned, they were making Rillarocores cores for OyA's army. The Broodlings were coming out of the OyA's converted units. And those do soak up a lot of the damage from the very low attack speed Protaphalors. Their upfront damage, they overkill like mad versus units like that. One of the main reasons we don't see them ZVZ.
Yeah, for sure. And like you say, the Acantor's in the back, we're just getting so much value over time. I'm trying to see how many kills on it. 14 on that one. I think it's about to die. Oh, I think it's fine. Surely it's going to be on more than 14.
Well, just held alt, you're going to see 3k damage, 2k damage, almost another 3k damage. So they've really been pulling their weight, and there's more where that came from as well. Now, Convalisks are out. That might be the answer that he needs to get a lot more of his own Brood Spawn, because we saw how poorly Acantors did before. Oh, he's even popped one of the Mind Tyrants. If this was the target, if this is what he had with all those Protaphalors, I'd give him a much stronger chance.
Hard for them to deal with the Acantors, though. Although those Pariahs are free money if they run into range of those Scorchrifts. Ouch.
Yeah.
Man, he's struggling to deal with those Rillarocores. Look, there's like, God, get off me, get off me.
Yeah. Well, the bottom right natural is going to be blown open here by OyA, and he's still on the 5 bases right now for the Protoss. Oh, attacks his own unit by mistake. Oh, I think he wants to get rid of this because it's blocking him in. Yeah, 3 convoys just blow up.
Oh, man, ouch. Yeah, that is unfortunate. Bunch of overlefts here. I don't know if he's looking for witnesses or what. Oh, he gets his Zoyas for his trouble. Now he's got the Brood Sire. He can keep those Rillarocores alive.
That's one way to do it. Protaphalors have come out. Convalisks are going to keep trying their best. Not really a whole lot of action here. A couple of Carapace Forms come live from the Vilgoricores just incidentally, but he really needs to get rid of that structure that's blocking him in. He has lost his extra base. This is 2 base to 5. Sziky looking like he's about to collapse. And by the way, can I just say, I see some Zerg in the production tab for our Protoss player.
I was trying to tell you, man. Oh, he's getting an Iris.
He's getting an Iris. I don't even know where he's put. Oh, look at that. Look at it, top left natural.
Yeah. It's pretty well defended, man. Is he going to have time to get the Mutalisks out or whatever he's going to do? I mean, he's trying to get in with his Acantors. I mean, if he's going to be sloppy with his main army, I guess he's got time to build the Zerg. He's more production, though. That's what Bottleneck's going to be.
Yeah, he wants to hit him with style. He's making Solarians back behind this. He's got double Argosy, double Prostration. Honestly, Mind Tyrant Solarian is a slow grind, but it probably is super good.
I would love to have seen him style with the Magisters. They're pretty cool. Don't see them very much.
That's right.
Oh man, he's even taken the 6 o'clock, by the way.
Yes, yeah, he retake it with some Zerg units. Now, it's worth pointing out all those Zerg units are going to take double damage, so not going to be as good as they could be.
Man, we were saying before this series that Sziky's so strong, he's been playing the game so much, but OyA's coming in here just like, nah, this is too easy. I got a style on this fool.
Yeah, I know what's up. Look, you
Kinda
spread
crazy.
Kager for me? Thanks, buddy. Over at the 9 o'clock. Sziky just holding on for dear life. He's got the one Lake is. He does not have his Khaz'Trith up anymore. Worker's just kind of sitting there saying hi.
Well, do you reckon Sziky knows he's dead, or do you reckon he feels like, no, I'm doing this if I can get the efficiency? Maybe I can figure this out.
That's right. That's right. And you know what? I mean, we're seeing some people have funny reactions. Mr. Quickscops in the chat gave us a bit of bits here. Thank you, sir. Said, all my dreams of multi-racing and legit 1v1s are coming true. Well, I think this one's been over for a bit, but I do love that he's trying out with Zerg here.
Yeah, every single race can do it now. It's not a Protoss only thing in Cosmonarchy, so definitely get in there and try and meme on some people. Oh, he hits those Trafalors. One more Scarab. Oh, okay, you got one.
Unbelievable. I can't believe Zyky's still like scrapping it out in this game. The Spire is on the way. OyA's just pulled up the Zerg tech tree in his other monitor like,
You know what OyA's going to do? I would love to see him just make his own Cataphalor and just be like, okay, what now, Zerg? He just has more.
Oh, Zyky's going to notice. Money. Surely he's going to notice at 9 o'clock. Like,
oh, yeah, he knows. But what's he going to do about it?
GG.
I'm surprised he didn't try and make the Tesseract by this point, because like that's the way that he actually OyA could have lost. If like a Tesseract just shows up in his name and starts doing what we saw in that other game. But not to be, alas. He's still getting that Tefalor count. I really want to see what he makes. If he makes Mutalisk, he'll be disappointed because they're not even really that good here. But
no, they would be because remember Zyky's favorite unit was listed as the Muta, so it's his max style, you know.
Oh, I see.
Oh, he's targeting tyrants. He's learning. He's figuring it out. Yeah. All right. I mean, listen, this game's over, but if Sziky can build this kind of style in and really understand what's happening, he can drill that information into his brain. There's no hope for a comeback here, even though OyA is being pretty lackadaisical about it.
There's a retrieval coming up for Protoss. he's going to get some kind of units from that. We'll see what he decides to get. Again, is he really just going to try and mirror the Zerg composition? Does
I don't know.
Really, like, which Zerg units to make?
I don't even know if he knows how to find them in the command card, dude.
He's just like exploring the tech tree.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, is there a game going
This
on?
is literally, this is Keen versus Lucy Furious back in the day. That's what this is. But hold on. Yeah, you're right. The Protaphthalor count's pretty high. And there's not really that much.
Too hard?
Yeah, there's not really that much Mind Tyrant support here. 7 pairs of Mutas on the way. That's what OyA's going to make now. But honestly, he's going to need to try a little bit harder, I think.
Yeah, he's going to actually do something here because his army's getting pushed back. I mean, the Solarians are hard to kill.
Yeah.
So
not for the Protaphthalors.
Well, I say that, but he lost one. The Protaphthalors are doing it, man.
Has he styled too close to the sun, my friend? What's going on here, buddy?
He has. I mean, the Mutalisks are not that great here. Conjulists are quite good against Mutalisks. And Protaphthalors are okay. He's killing all those Solarians. I guess he's sending the ground army again. Oh, and you know what?
And then the Mutas fly in.
Oh, it is main. Oh, there's Nafra cores, which like sort of makes sense, right? But they can't quite handle it.
Yeah, even against the 1.5x, like these guys have 75% health basically. That's what you can think of it as. So even with that,
speed is so good on Mutalisk. I just realized. GG.
Alrighty, that is a wrap. GG. It takes a while, but OyA, the hybrid player, is going to take that game. It looked pretty scary, honestly. It looked pretty scary, but
I think I have to leave you here because my voice is going. I don't think I can continue.
All good, all good. Thank you for joining us.
You can probably hear it's been like breaking up.
It's one of those things where I know you said you were under the weather, but actually you were fine except for the voice. And sometimes the voice says, hey, I'm out. See you, dude. But hey, you made it halfway, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm glad I lived to see the epic game on Near Impact. Now I go to die casting death, I guess.
That's right. Well, you can go fight Shambler silently, right? That's a thing.
No, I don't think that's gonna happen.
Fair enough.
But don't forget to give people their Gamper.
I will not. I will not. I'm also not going to forget to tell people that we are accepting donations for Showmatch number 4's funding, our prize pool there. It's going to be some StarCraft 2 pros. You may have, if you follow StarCraft 2, you may know Trigger, one of the top 20 players in the world right now. We've got Young Yakov, a rising Zerg player, I think top 40 or so, and Han Mono, our first South Korean pro player, also from StarCraft 2. They'll be participating in a Showmatch. So streamlabs.com/pronogo to donate to the next Showmatch that we have. Feel free to do that. And that is going to be a very good time. That will be on the 6th of September, so only a week from tomorrow, guys.
It's exciting. Well, enjoy the rest of the games.
That is correct, sir. Thank you for joining us, and we will be seeing you in the stream chat. Peace.
I will.
All right, guys. Listen, We've had some pretty bangers. We've had some banger matches, that's for sure. But we are going to have another one. And I say that because we just got told that the next map is Valhalla Valley. This is like Rise of the Valkyrie, Flight of the Valkyries or something like that. I can't remember what the original map was named. But it is a ridiculous one, man. This is like not even a Class 2 map. It's in Class 3. That's how wacky it ended up being. Yes, based on Ride of the Valkyries by Ragnarok Valkyrie. So we have hosted it up for our pros. It's going to be WolFix picking that map against OyA defending. Let's see what ends up happening there.
Oi mate, bring back that Aussie bloke or we riot.
$10 to the show match number 4 funding. I appreciate you, Sir Godwheat. And hopefully Nebline was in the chat to see that. We are getting everything in. Looks like Ultra, shout out Ultra and Dandy to explaining the whole stream in Latin America. Really appreciate you guys. If you are still going, I'll go ahead and drop a link to any of our Spanish speakers out there. Feel free to check it out. It's going to be a very good time for that one as well. So you can definitely check that one out. Oh, apparently that was sent by the No Frauds Club, according to Restream. I don't even know if that's possible. Oh, no, yeah, it's kind of weird, but that's fine. That works out. Okay, guys. We have WolFix and OyA ready to go. And we are going to get into our next game. Let's get the Gamba going on Twitch if you guys want to support us with that Gamba interaction. You know how it goes. Oh, I got absolutely devastated. Never mind. Hold on. One technical issue. It looks like, as the witness, I guess we never actually had the proper triggers imported into that map. So I'm going to quickly fix that for everybody here. That's how little it was played, apparently. Nobody ever tried to observe a game on it. People have definitely played on it. I've casted replays of it before, but it's definitely a wonky, wacky map. So let's go ahead and take care of that real quick. Okay, looks like that should be good. I'll double check real quick. Okay. All right. Had to remake that one. Classic move. Nerf Protoss, says Godwheat. Protoss is good. Protoss is doing very good right now. Very cool. Oh, look at that.
Let's go, gamers. Awesome to see Cosmonarchy get put to its limits.
Appreciate you, Mr. 420 Quickscops. I appreciate you very much. That means that we're actually pretty, like, that's a pretty good amount to already be. Just under $30 now. It's going to be a very epic time to get that show match going, so. Let's see what we end up doing. These games better not be epic when I can't cast. Listen, dude, it's going to be epic. We're going to Valhalla Valley. Ride of the Valkyries. WolFix picking that map. I think he wants to rush him. All right, we're getting into it, boys. This is going to be another round in favor of OyA here to start things off, and we will see the two of them duke it out. Let's get into it. WolFix in the bottom left is our... Whew, this is a tough one. I'm going to say... I'll say Dark Sapphire again. Dark Sapphire Terran, and OyA in the bottom right is our Alice Blue. No, Electric Blue Protoss. I didn't think Alice Blue was quite white, but I knew it wasn't Glacial, so at least I'm making progress on my predictions. Guys... It's going to be PVT. We'll get the borders set up for you guys and update the scores on the doors. We are halfway through, a little bit more than halfway through our show match. We have 5 more matches to be played. Sziky won 2, OyA won 4. 6 games have been played so far. WolFix yet to get on the board. He is going to go bio. Ramp is here. This is Valhalla Valley. It's a wacky map. Natural, mineral fields that block your pathing to the third base, and then a very strange straight line into your enemy's maiden base area. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a 1-gate start. I think a 2-gate. Looks like OyA is setting up for that. And he's not scouting. Neither player bothering to work or scout right now. Even if they figured out what the opponent was doing, would they know what to do to deal with it? I don't know. I don't know. Gamba indeed. Gamba indeed. Thank you for the reminder, guys. Oh, it looks like it was already set up, but nobody voted. So classic move. OyA versus WolFix for 2 minutes. You may place your bets on the Twitch channel. All right, double stockade. Double gateway. So very neck and neck here, and it will be that one Maverick, of course. I'm guessing WolFix will still try that early Vestry, try to get the Clerics up. It hasn't really worked for him too far, so I don't know if he wants to go back to the drawing board there or what. Like, how is he going to turn the strategy that hasn't been successful for him yet into a successful situation? Shout out Ultra in the chat. What's going on, buddy? Appreciate you very much. Maverick Cyprian. Coming in hot is OyA. I don't know. The Dracodon and Hierophant? That should be more than enough here. Shambler popped in with the $10 donut.
Will intrepid Terran figure his race or time necromancers? Find out new time on Cosmonarchy.
Hell yeah, brother. Find out next time on Cosmonarchy. Shambler making it so. That does put us even further closer to the goal. We're just south of $40 here. 170 is our goal. So for funding that next show match, getting started, we're actually, you know, we're getting kind of close to halfway there. So I guess we're more than halfway to halfway. More than a quarter way there, guys. Isn't that cool? Isn't math wonderful? Anchor is going to be put up here. This is actually a pretty key adaptation here for WolFix. He's delayed his Vestry, and he's gone for the Anchor. He can put the Cyprians in there. They will be able to shoot quite nicely and keep him insulated with their extra range. Instead, he's going to put the Mavericks in and have the Cyprians behind it. That's an interesting one. And he will be making a ministry, ladies and gentlemen. Abandoning the front of the Talos of the Treasury Expand, WolFix is making a ministry. We love to see it. We love to see it. 8/18ths of the way there. Fuck yeah, man. Math. Math. You know, when we're downloading a new game on Steam, my brother and I started this bit where he was asking me like how close I was to completion, and say it's like 519 megabytes and I'm 214 megabytes. I would be like, I'm 214 519ths of the way there. Throwing numbers at him, word salad. So gonna be a fast third base after seeing the Anchor. I actually really like this adaptation from OyA. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. 2 more stockades. The Vestry is here now, and the expansion slowly being saturated. Does WolFix know about the saturation rate? It looks like he's at about the right amount of Masons over here for minerals. He could use 1 more, and he would be at like dead even saturation for the early game. And you still want to add those third workers, but it's a little bit more important on the later bases, because by the time you actually get to a good count here, you usually have your Nexus or whatever expansion up, as OyA is demonstrating, and also your main base will deplete. And this map has 1,500 mineral fields, guys. This is so old, such an old map. We don't even have the 2K mineral field standard. So just putting that out there. The main bases will deplete faster. Depleted bases in Cosmonarchy give you slower mining rates. That's a big deal there. Shaman deploying. Okay, WolFix trying that one out instead of the Cleric. I love to see him experiment. I love to see him experiment. Now, with the 2 bases and more workers, he's going to be able to show his more macro-oriented play. However, again, OyA does have his 3rd Nexus finishing up. A very, very low army count that he's not going to be able to use to bust. Remember, these mineral fields, you cannot get through them without mining them. Depleted minerals do stay alive here for that lower mining rate, but they don't have any collision. So that's the trick there. That's basically how they operate, similarly to Brood War. Ardent Authority, fairly quick. I think he's going to set up for a second one. I love that he actually made a pylon. Isn't that lovely? 3rd gate added. Wants to keep the chaff going, probably wants to add some zealots, and the embassy will undoubtedly be used for a drop. Now, we do have a watchdog. WolFix already learning a little bit. Does he know that you can lift these off? That's the question. They don't have the landing pads like the Anchor does, so it's a bit less obvious. We have to remodel it at some point. That takes time. You know how it goes. A lot of Striders here, but they're never going to bust this in a million years. However, at the same time, they never really get forced out, per se. Oh, looks like WolFix does want to deplete these. So now this one is actually pathable. And before you say, did he wander there? No, there's absolutely no fucking way you could wander from that far. I refuse to believe it. I believe the limit of tiles is actually 8 range. So it'd be like 8 range from here is like... So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is about how far he could wander. So this is a deliberate choice from him. That's what I think. I'm sure he'll prove me wrong in the chat after or something. Covenant coming up, so he is going to go for the Eidolons. I'm not sure that he's figured out Savants yet. One step at a time. Does he know that you can walk through? Oh, he's trying it. Yeah, he's realizing, okay, when it's like that, you can walk through it. We're watching the evolution of a man before our very eyes. Learning Cosmonarchy mechanics. It's actually not the positron drop that I thought OyA was going to go into. It's going to be an Acantor into the prostration stage. Never forget to gamble, kids. Yeah, Neblon pointing out that, you know, when you're talking about bio, do you really want the Savant? I think you do versus Zerg, but when it's versus Protoss and they have all these Striders, it's going to be a lot harder. He's also taking a risk here by moving away. He's going to go ahead and set up an anchor outside. Treasury expand for the third base. It does kind of make sense. He can add the quarry to one of his ministries if he wants to, or he can add the quarry on location. I don't think he realizes that OyA is right out here with all of his army. Doesn't yet realize it. So OyA is now going to sniff around and be like, hey, what's going on here, buddy? Third base with static defense warping in there. Does need to be very cautious about this. He's got some Eidolons coming. Okay, if he gets up to, like, over 12 Eidolons, I think he's insulated against Infinity Drax, basically. I mean, he's got the Cyprians as well. This anchor is finished. He can throw some units in there as well if he wants to. I would really think, like, honestly, put the Eidolons in the anchor. You can put 4 of them in. They don't cost that much transport space. Ah, the Maverick has found a bugged tile. Who put that there? It was me. Detection actually revealing the witness there. That's the deployed Shaman. I'm not sure WolFix even knows about that. Couple of bio units getting bopped. As long as they remain on the high ground here, these Striders will have extra range shooting down. Not on the same level, though. But they can cycle back over here as well. These kinds of retreats can really help out. Now, Stimmed Mavericks going after the Draconans here, and the Hierophants as well, can be really good. The Eidolons, though, are way too close from comfort now. Here come the Cyprians to try to back it up. Oh, okay, you gotta get in front of this. Ugh, you gotta get in front of that with your more juicy bio targets, like the Eidolons will just die. Cyprians as well. You really need the Mavericks to play dodgeball there if you're not going to start playing dodgeball with your units. They got to be interceptors. They got to be quarterbacks. Cornerbacks, excuse me. Linebackers. Shit like that. I don't know football. Sorry, guys. I don't even know soccer. All right, fourth base coming. Are WolFix and OyA StarCraft 2 pros? No, Vilius, they are StarCraft 1 pros from the European scene. WolFix hailing from Poland, OyA hailing from Sweden. Dog talking about Savants being bugged. That's not really a bug, per se. That's just like you can't round to a 1/24th, like a tick, of attack speed buff after a certain point. So the increment doesn't actually do anything. Like, I guess it's fine to say that that's a bug, but that's not something... That's just like an engine limitation more than anything. Now, this attack should be brutal for the Terran player. His Mavericks need to stim, and he needs his Eidolons to be in the back. The Shamans are going to deploy, try to give that extra HP up, and it will actually... You know what? That went a lot better for the Terran than I thought it would, which is not to say it went well. Maverick is scouting top right. That's the 5th base now for OyA, adapting to the map quite well. We only are on 3 base for Terran, and this one isn't even really well saturated yet. Worker count much in favor of our Protoss. Once again, kind of caught slipping, not reacting to the map as quickly as he would want to. Shamans reveal the witness at the very least. We did lose one Shaman. The other one's slowly getting repaired by the one in the south. Oh, no Harakans, and the Cyprian's not in the fight either, means that it's really quite difficult for that Pariah to end up going down. We have another one that's full HP behind it, but the Eidolon count is slowly stacking up. We've seen Protoss be in this position before where they've got the worker lead, but not able to actually close the game due to the firepower difference. And now both Pariahs are a stiff breeze away from dying once their shields fall. So even though we saw a lot of dead Mavericks, you got to think about the Eidolon count. That's the thing that, like, corresponding it to something like PvT StarCraft 1, what's your Dragoon count growing like? Or even TVP, what's your Phalanx count, your Siege Tank count growing like? You know, if your Siege Tank count never gets reset in TVP, you're actually in a pretty good spot, even if you lose all your Vultures. So that's just sort of like a, not quite the same. You can't translate it 1-to-1 because Mavericks can be really good DPS options for all units. They just need a little bit of help from something like a Hurakan. But they are acting as the chaff, as the front line, and the Eidolons need to be split up from there. So maybe WolFix can start to take command of the game if he knows which targets to pick on. I hope he was watching that last game and saw that the Mind Tyrants are really impactful because OyA is making them. He is coming in. Shaman deploying. It instantly heals up the Mavericks when they stim, so really good option. And now look at that. Instantly focuses the Cantor. Really good play. He's sharking around. WolFix going to be showing his micro potential here. Taking top left with a Ministry on location. A lot more Mavericks being made. He is up to 10 stockades. Might be the highest he's gotten. Maybe Potidaea he had 12. I can't quite remember. But he needs to make sure he's stimming these Mavericks for these engagements, and the Eidolons can't be too far away, although they can range down all the workers over there. If he gets in a position, OyA is going to be in trouble on the mining, at least for that 4th base. Everything else should be running just fine for him. Very slow economic development from our Terran, though. In the same way that we talked about, like, the Protoss can be looking really, really dire, even though they've got, like, almost double the workers from something like Zerg. You got to think about the tech, and you also got to think about the positioning of the fight. Now the Eidolons are ranging things down. Shamans are deploying. Got more where that came from. And yeah, this base should just evacuate. He can't hold it. Big transfer, though. I mean, he basically doesn't go down a base, so trying his best. Now, the Mavericks are all clumped up. But still, those pariahs were so low from before. We've got the one Mind Tyrant, and no Eidolons here to snipe it. They go after the Acantor instead. On some level, that's still fine. But this one Malefactor Pariah is not being focused down. He needs to right-click the Mind Tyrant. He's misclicked. He has misclicked. He still will take down the Pariah. But at what cost, you have to wonder. Finally, it looks like the Protoss army will end up collapsing. Has WolFix cracked the code? Ancestral Archives halfway complete. If OyA can somehow hold on until then, we will get the Up Tecton out. And this Terran army will start to look a lot less threatening. But right about now, diving onto the 3rd base. Remember that what I said about those minerals depleting? We might be getting to that point pretty soon. Now at the same time, sharking around. The Mind Tyrant not actually buffing anything, so now you ignore it. It's not helping whatsoever. Eidolons circle back away from that Nexus, and great pullback from WolFix to snipe down the few Protoss units that remain. And despite the economic advantage, OyA did not tech up in time. WolFix sets up a TVZ. GG! He's on the board! All right. Now, ain't that good? Ain't that wonderful? Love to see WolFix get on the board, and he takes down the current leader of the Showmatch group in OyA, putting another little bit of salt in the wound, so to speak. Getting another $10 to his name. Be drinking well if he keeps that up. He WolFixed it. That's what he did. He figured it out. I will never financially recover from this. Shout out Noidshirt in the chat. All right, we're going to be waiting on the next map pick from none other than Mr. Sziky. It is Tesseract, a port of Luna, if you can believe that. I really thought about putting Tesseract in the Acropolis 3 map pool some time ago. Just saying, guys. I can't even find it now. Where is it? Where did it go? Did I delete it by accident? Is it in class 1 for some reason? Oh, it is! I forgot. I think I made some changes to it. It's not class 1. Class 0. My mistake there. WolFix shouting out AOT for giving him some tips. I don't know how AOT knew what tips to even give him, honestly. That was pretty good. Oh, big update as well from Veek7 says he has updated Replay Kraken and should be able to deploy it for everybody soon. I don't actually know how soon is, but that's really hype. Replay Kraken, for those who don't know, it's going to be an online replay stat checker, and you can also download it. It's basically the first step, or the next step, I guess. We've made a lot of first steps already. The next step to ranked ladder, MMR, all that stuff. So, going to be a good time for sure. All right, as mentioned, it is Tesseract coming up next. We've got WolFix defending, Sziky attacking. Let's see where we go. We get a little bit deeper into this show match, guys. This is going very, very nicely, in my opinion. In the top right, we have Sziky, our legendary Mahogany Zerg. WolFix in the bottom right, our green Terran player. And he is rather green, isn't he? New to the project, new to the game. But there's some translatable skills. They are sharing the same hemisphere of the map, so we are going to end up seeing a different story than we necessarily expected. You know, it's not cross-spawn, not sharing the, same top or whatever like that. They're sharing the same hemisphere, same right side there. Pool coming in for Sziky as expected, and it looks like he is going to go for that same build every game. Pool, double Larvosk, and get the Zeths to scout. And WolFix is going to be going for Bio here. Last game he played against Sziky, he went mech. And it was very close, but it seems like he's made the decision. He is a bit more comfortable playing with Bio. And after that last game, I can't complain. I can't blame him necessarily. Let's see how it ends up going out together. It's kind of amazing that the pros just made Valhalla Valley look like a really fun, cool map. I just want to point that out. I don't think it's a very good map. They were like, hell yeah, brother. Good pick as well. I mean, obviously you got to give WolFix some dubs for doing that. WolFix took off the training rates. Maybe. He might have. Game plan, Jig is up. He cancels that and goes for a Larvosk. I don't know what that was about. Might have been a Circuit for a second. I just was on autopilot assuming it was double Larvosk, as you might expect. It's going to be that Maverick Cyprian once again. WolFix keeps his Mason alive, clears the first two Zeths that go to him, and Sziky recalls the others. He's going to go ahead and get a Circuit at the ramp. Wants to respect what's happening here. But it's going to be an anchor. So we know that WolFix is actually going to play a bit more conservatively, defensively, and get his expansion out. Sziky has that trauma. That trauma about him, if we want to call it that. He has that harsh history going up against Ultra with the bio move-outs. We even have the Zeth over here in case anchors start floating over. Like, there's been a lot of stuff that Sir Sziky has had to deal with. But there's the expansion coming on down. Very cool. Double Cyprian. Love that WolFix has made the adaptation for the Ministry. I wonder what he was watching. Was he watching Ultra's games with the Talos or something? That would have been really funny to figure it out. Gonna throw down the Vestry add-on, it looks like, and get himself some healing. Zeth on patrol. Fast-moving unit. We got an Ovalith out. I love the idea of Sziky going for a scout here. And he is going for the Hydrith. On the one hand, I think that Bactylisks have a bit of a timed life against a well-equipped mech play, or a bio play, rather. But On the other hand, I think they do spike up a little bit, and they're more mobile, more flexible than something like the Lake is. So there's definitely play here on both angles if you wanted to go Zorka's Shroud as your transition point. And of course, Sziky may get that after he hits his 2 base timing. 6 quads drop. He's going to end up seeing that there's a... Oh, he just drops 1. I love that. Just to go after the Mason. WolFix does have to pinch off a couple of his units, but he's responding pretty adequately. I don't even think he needs to pull the workers, honestly. Might lose 1 Mason. There you go. He lost the 1, defended the one over here that was making the Watchdog. 4 quads end up back in the Ovalette. They are pretty bruised. So pretty good hold there. It's almost like, you know, there's a question, right? Like, if he pulled the workers, he wouldn't have lost 1, but that might be less money lost than if he stopped mining for all that time. Oh, this is interesting. So the Ovaleth leaves, but the Zerg units burrow, so they're going to try for that run-in later. And Watchdogs alone are not going to defend against this. So WolFix has moved his army down a little bit. It's kind of interesting, because he might just stumble upon them. Then pulls away. Crafty from Sziky. 9 Hydras. We do have that hatch coming for that late natural. I wanted to say that, like, in some ways, it kind of feels like WolFix mind gamed Sziky with the expansion after the double stockade. But actually, I think that's a standard opener for TVZ that, like, Sziky just assumed it was going to be more aggressive because that's how WolFix has played. With Mech, he was aggressive. With Bio, he was aggressive versus OyA. And so now he's playing against Bio. He's like, yeah, you were aggressive earlier. Why not again? Finding another opportunity to attack the Watchdog here. It actually might end up going down. No, he ends up leaving it. But he is trying to move out, and there's the Unburrow for the 4 quads, going after the workers. The Cyprians end up leaving the base. Great bait from Mr. Sziky. He's got his ski back coming as well, and the Hydras are massing up at the front gates. Here we go. Heckling the worker that's making the sieve. A couple units coming down, including a stemmed Mav. He gets 1 Mason. He does slow down the sieve construction. We'll see how soon WolFix notices that. And now look at this. He split the burrow all over the place, so 2 more can still heckle. It's just about splitting the attention. You might not get that much damage, but look, this is damage. This is great damage right now. He hasn't noticed that it's not currently being made right now. There you go. He's figured it out. All right, behind this, the Covenant is done. Eidolons are out. Shamans are out for that mass healing when deployed. 5 Bactyls are being made. Now, Shamans are really good versus Bactylisks, but probably better when you have Hurakan or Savant. If you can see the Eidolons, the bounces will kill them. The Mavericks don't last very long either. So if you get enough Bactyls, you're going to be in a pretty good spot as the Zerg player, as long as you can also still see the Eidolons. But a lot more stockades are being added as WolFix's economy is definitely spring-loaded. He sets up the Anchor, which is going to frustrate the mining a little bit, but that's still pretty cute. You know, like, you can't really attack that anymore. Static defense has been invested into. Expanding cross position here for Sziky. Is it, you know, if WolFix sends a big army out to the bottom left to crush that, assuming he ever even finds it, he's going to be really out of position to a counterattack. He can play that style pretty well as the Zerg, I think. Zorka's Shroud, almost complete for Sziky. That one being made in the natural. Going up to that 7 stockade, the last of them finished. A star pad for an Ant Seal, most likely, although he could try dropping. WolFix hasn't done that yet. If you think about it, he's the only player who hasn't tried to drop so far. All right, our third bases are coming up at similar times. Worth noting, these are cross positions, third bases. If they had gone for the 6 or 9, you can, or 6 or rather 9 or 3, the ridges here are more numerous. You can cap them up and basically have 4 geysers on one base if you cap those. Probably a little bit more useful for the Zerg in this situation. Some Leikas are being invested into. Looks like Sziky agrees with the idea of kind of mixing and matching everything. Nebline was speaking to that earlier. Having all kinds of comps, having all kinds of units. Some unpowered Monuments of Sin. This is what I changed. I forgot about this. I just kind of like lackadaisically one day while I was thinking about what maps to update or put into a map pool, I decided to convert all of the high ground here, or all of the middle into high ground. So that's what now I'm remembering. Now this monument is going to block his pathing, and that would be a great funnel for the Lake is Backed. Like, this is the anti-crowd composition that Sziky has made. You can bounce off the monument. I don't know if he knows that. Similar to like bouncing off of eggs with mutas in ZVT and StarCraft 1. One of the reasons why another reason why they go for mineral fields on the blockers instead. Although a large portion of it is, let's be real. Oh, that was good. I was going to say it's just because of pathing. Now, those are some really good spines. You trade to Zorius for that any day of the week. It looks like a Maverick came up and got slapped by the static defense. A Bactalisk is in that Ovaleth. Sziky not aware of that just yet. And WolFix really sharking around looking for an option here. Losing the Mavericks is okay. It's not really the biggest deal. He's not getting much damage, but he does have a large army of Mavericks. Feels like he could maybe push across to shut down this 12 o'clock. Bottom left is just a hatch right now, nothing else. Not quite mining just yet. Yeah, okay, he's realized, okay, I gotta unload those. All right, now we've got the Ant Seal for detection. Now we've got the Eidolons to try to outrange the Lakers. And without the Bactals to be able to step forward and try to do something about that, WolFix is slowly gathering his control. Oh, that's a little bit of an overstep, though. Every Eidolon does represent a heavy amount of investment, so they are expensive. Dancing around the edge of those spines. Some of them don't dance so nicely. Bactals being made. WolFix just making Eidolon after Eidolon. He's floating a ton of minerals right now. Ooh, almost snipes the Ovaleth. That's anti-detection. Sziky might want to think about doing something with that. Now, you force decloak them if you get close enough. Interesting that he actually is trying to... Oh, he's got a random Hydra here. Hi. What's up, guys? I'm a Terran. Terran Hydralisk. Ah. Well, he trades it for the Ant Seal, so maybe it was all right. Now, this fight looks like it'll be a little bit better for the Terran. The only thing I'm a bit concerned about is those Bactals in the back, and the Lakers are not going to come on forward. Sadly, this monument wasn't brought down, so it's not going to allow those Lakers to get as close as they really wanted to, and there's not much of a front line for Sziky. WolFix, he's not spending his money down very nicely, but Zyky's composition is struggling to deal with all of the Mavericks. Meanwhile, the detection from the Shaman still providing enough to see what's up with those Lakers. Now, not all of them are in range, and now we're going to see it turn over to the other side. The Bactal bounce is cleaning house. The Shaman's not able to sustain them too much. The last of the uncloaked units are going to fall here. At what cost? He dives forward to try to clear it out. It should be working. This should be enough for the DPS here, especially with the Remax of Hydras coming in. Another one just coming. It's coming in from the bottom left. That's why it's just running into the middle of the fight. And it's not yet been pieced together here by WolFix, who hasn't really saturated his third base. So one of the things we saw in that last game, WolFix versus OyA, WolFix took the game, but at no point was his economics in question, and at no point did his army get reset. Now his Eidolon count is much lower than it was before. And yeah, he's still ranging down some, getting some good damage. Should probably cancel these eggs. Instead, they're just going to end up getting busted. He really needs those Bactals to be in a reasonable count, because the Eidolons and the Mavericks, importantly as well, when they're stemmed, do so much damage. Now, here we go. This is a mistake from WolFix. He ends up dropping a couple Eidolons, and a couple more get damaged. Far away from that last Shaman. Only source of detection right now. Finally, we got some Hurricanes and an Ant Seal coming. Looks like this bottom left base is going to get wiped out. When you see units coming down the ramp, you surely know there's a base there. Now, what does that change about WolFix's idea? Because if he overcommits there, that's a big mistake, because there's not actually that much economy going on. Eidolons are sharking up towards 12 o'clock. They're going to confirm nothing in the top left, I suppose. The longer he takes, the more Sziky can fortify his position. He's making more Bactalisks. He's got more Hydras coming as well. Sure, he's not going to be predicting this move from the Eidolon count, but that means that there's way less army here. So what does Sziky do as his base up at 12 o'clock is under attack? He's canceled out the fourth base. He can try to pressure the 6 o'clock. Instead, he dives on the remaining units over here. Still a lot of Huracan, still a lot of Maverick, but the Lakers are here, and the Huracans are not ready for that. There's still the 3 Lakers over there that just gun down all of those tanking units. 17 Eidolons do make their escape, exfiltrate off to that side. Monument still holding in the middle of the map for now. We got more Shamans coming in for that healing. And yeah, there's been a lot of units that have actually massed up over here for Sziky. If the Eidolons are busy dealing with that, this bio army almost stands no chance. These monuments are still operating at such a plus here for WolFix right now. If they weren't there, Sziky would 100% dive onto the military. Still might do it anyway, trying to siege forward with those Lakers. It's a grindy sort of situation. 3 o'clock now being taken by our Terran. That's unlikely to hold. if given the opportunity. The Eidolons are being pulled away and sort of split up by Sziky's attack force, or defense force, really, for the bottom left. And the Ant Seals are flying into death. There's a couple more still here for that detection for the Lakers, but I don't even think that's the factor anymore. The Bactyls count is huge. 14 of them. The Lakers are going to try to step forward. They actually decollide. So Sziky's army not really fighting right now. He's trying to reset. A couple more units, including Azorius, coming in from that bottom left. Mavericks rallied into death. They are going to need to stim backwards. There's that ministry almost complete now at the 3 o'clock, and 12 o'clock being rallied to, but not with workers. It's with Hydras instead. Sziky falls back. His Ovulettes have been killed. Lake is just about wrapped up here. Only one left. Some good shots there. The Ant Seal pretty low. It will end up going down, so no more detection. Man, what a slog. They can't break these monuments. They haven't even tried anymore. What's going on? Spartan17 Gamer. How strong would the base game Terran be against the Cosmonarchy Zerg? 100% lose rate, he says. Yeah, we don't have like an Evo thing where you can play as SC1 Terran versus Cosmonarchy Zerg. And I think even if we did, it would probably be, as people are saying, 100% lose rate. Finally, this Mason confirms a scout in the bottom left. He might not see too many workers, though. So, you know, is that really a big deal? He's still not really well saturated at this 6 o'clock, but it's all right. Main base and natural are depleting. He needs to transfer workers over to that 3 o'clock and hope it holds. Atalos flying over to top left. See what he does with that, if anything. He's assembled the Eidolons. The Eidolons are assembling. This base is going to be made short work of. But again, that means that the army in the middle is kind of under strength. Now look at this choke. Oh! Oh, the lake is unburrowing and screwing everything up for Sziky. The Ovulettes are in range. The Eidolons can focus them down, but it's not being sniped. Maybe it doesn't even need to be. The Eidolon count is too high. Sziky is being choked out. His bottom left base is taken care of. Didn't quite trade very well. Really, it's those monuments, man. They never did a thing but block everything that Sziky wanted to do. $12 Eidolons a pop being made by WolFix. His economy is still working for that gas income. He's capped the ridge in main, natural, and third. The fourth base only now going to be coming online. And now bottom left is his to secure. Sent 2 Masons down there. He can make his ministries. He's taken control of the middle of the map. These side angles haven't really been used by anybody but WolFix, so Sziky not really getting active there. And he spent so much money on Lake is backed that he's really having a hard time. I think if he had torn down these monuments, he would have been in such a better spot. Fourth base finally coming up here for our Zerg player, top left natural. A more logical spot. Only the Talos is up there for WolFix. Oh, Eidolons are kind of split. Not really in the best of positions. He's going to try to hunt down a few. We don't have any more detection, at least not flying. So the Lakers can and will... Oh my god. Oh my god. If those Lakers were a little bit further forward, that trap would have been devastating. Antseal now coming up, so that'll be a very big turn. Maverick getting cleared on that side. Lake is unburrow. Where's the fight? Where's the focus fire? One lake is going down. Just trade for a few Eidolons. Not terrible. And yes, he will be taking down this monument. But look, here's the Antseal. Not sure why he stopped attacking. Finally, one of the monuments goes down. There we go. He's actually going to help him out. He's like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll even fight. He'll tear down the monument on his side, too. Trying to use the bounces there. Sziky figuring it out a little too late. Does end up clearing a Maverick. That's about it. Those Lakers cannot engage right now. There's so many Eidolons, dude. 35 of them, and the Maverick standing by as well. He's at like 60 or something. And WolFix is not playing a perfect game. Let's be real. He's got 2k minerals, almost 2k Vespine. Not even making anything right now. Just the Talos. It's going to be a last-ditch effort, but Sziky just doesn't have anything. The back duelists finish up, but the Lakers are getting annihilated here. And this has to be GG. There's just not enough here. The Eidolon count is way too high. All right. By the way, GG is called. WolFix spent all of his money on Mavericks. He queued up 12 times 5. He queued up 60 Mavs, dude. That is so wild to me. Well, he's found the magic unit for him. Eidolon's definitely helping out. Bio is the way for him. Where's the adaptation? OyA will have a chance at a rematch. Caught in 4K. If you don't know how to play against it, then it is so punishing. Yeah, that's probably true. I mean, there were many opportunities where the Lakers could have engaged there, the lurkers, but those Monuments of Sin only went down after the pendulum had swung the other way, where like the only way to win a fight in the middle of the map would have been for WolFix to walk through and do something by mistake on that. So that was a little bit rough. Maybe if Sziky had more workers at his extra bases, he would have also been able to spend more money on stuff, but I think there's some tech options there that were left by the wayside. Shambler suggesting back to Ultra instead of Lakers. Instead of Lurker. I think the bounce damage probably would do the trick, but it's worth pointing out that there were a lot of Shamans. It'll be Blackwater Bastion for OyA. I love that OyA picks all the Cosmonarchy maps instead of the the StarCraft 1 maps. That's pretty cool. All right, we're getting into our next match this time around. OyA attacking, Terran defending here. WolFix trying to see what more he can do, winning hearts and minds. On the one hand, I definitely see where people are coming down on the Eidolon pretty hard because, you know, they're probably like, dude, WolFix didn't even really macro well that game. I have to say, though, that there's a certain point where you end up showing that Eidolons are kind of like the ultimate glass cannon. I think we saw that a few times when WolFix wasn't able to get it off the ground versus OyA. So he is going to go bio again, and I don't think OyA will be surprised about that. OyA in the bottom right is our dark green Protoss, and WolFix in the bottom left is our... I guess I'll say Glacial this time, but it was electric blue again. Electric blue Terran. I am not showing game. Thank you for letting me know. Fixed. OyA, bottom right. Dark green. WolFix, bottom left. Electric blue. And bio versus gate. There you go. Vertical spawns. WolFix going to be scouting top left, so he won't see his opponent first. Interesting choices there. Not really any wrong answer, I think, to which base you scout, except for cross spawn. You probably never want to scout that. Oh, is he double scout? No, that's an anchor. Okay, that makes more sense. Definitely wants to keep the fight going here. Hierophant first for OyA, falling into Dracoden after. I do want to see some more OyA versus Sziky, but now, you know, the whole narrative has switched over, right, to WolFix being the Titan. And, you know, it only took 2 games for people to be, like, preying on his downfall. Of course, let us know in the Gamba if you think so. He's got his Mavericks in the anchor. It's pretty airtight as far as the build order goes, so he's going to drop the Ministry in just a moment here. He's cut his production for it. Oh yeah, going to get the Nexus down at a similar time. All right. Cyprian coming. Vestry coming. There's a chance here OyA might be able to bully him with the Strider-heavy composition, but he is also going Rogue Gallery behind this. That's an interesting permutation that I haven't seen. This is going to be... this is our 9th game, by the way. We have played 8 games so far. So we are going for 11. 2 more after this. No matter who wins this one, Sziky faces them. If Sziky wins the next one, he faces whoever's up next. You guys know how it is. It is winner stays on. Oh, look at that. Body blocking the scout. Doesn't want him to see. Doesn't want him to see what he's making. Rogue Gallery finishing up there. Gateway as well. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, now what do? I've been caught making Rogue Gallery. Oh, it is a Charlatan. That's curious. I wonder why he went Charlatan. Did he hear the cast or something? Did somebody tell him Charlatan, a Cantor, really good? I said that in the game versus Sziky because the attack scaling helps out versus things like Ultras. You get the half damage projectile, but when it's a Cantor projectile, it's like 30 damage or whatever, so still pretty good. Plus it deals the splash and all that stuff, so very, very good combo. A lot of synergy in the Protoss arsenal, that's for sure. So there's a Covenant on the way. Starpad on the low ground. I don't know if that's going to be for Anseal or if it's going to be for a drop. Again, WolFix not really taking to the skies in any of his games. First Charlatan has arrived, and it's going to be a Kabbalist behind it. Oh, fast Unitary. Okay, so this could be a couple of things. Vibrance is actually really good against Terran Eidolon compositions if your opponent doesn't have detection, because your Vibrance just walks in and decloaks the army. It doesn't even have to attack. I don't know if OyA knows about that, though. He might just be going Architect here, which would be a more safe bet. That is definitely a unit you can do. If he goes double Unitary, I'm going to assume it's Architect. Crucible behind it would also help out quite a bit. Let's see what he ends up doing. Yeah, double Unitary. So we're going to go into Architect here from OyA. He wants to take the range advantage. He is going to need detection for that. That's one of the reasons why I'm waiting on to see when the Embassy comes down. Witnesses did get buffed after the Bonneth show match, funnily enough, because he made a good point about the... I thought he made a good point about the resources there. Oh, no. Oh, no, OyA. That's so sad. Left him on 5 health, too. The 5 HP buff mattered. it didn't need to get damage done, but, you know, it would have been nice to get into the mineral line and screw some stuff up for the Terran player. 6 stockades, so he was up at 7. Oh. What? Unars. So, the Unar is a single target specialist. Deals like 100 plus damage sometimes. It depends on how charged up its passive is. But it's to one target. So, I don't know. I guess if you can get them in a position to shoot some of the, just like shoot enough, you have enough of them. Oh, he's making 1 architect after. Maybe the Unar is for the anchor? 3 Eidolons moving off to the side. That's kind of cute. 9 stockades are going to be our final amount. And we do have double embassy and pre-capping the 3rd base. That's interesting. So he's 1 Unar, 1 Architect. That's his ratio. He hasn't pulled the other one away just yet. Yeah, if the Unar has fired once, it should have enough damage to kill a Huracan. Oh no, just by default it has that. Yeah, the Unar would one-shot Huracans each time. And Huracans are usually in the spot to be targeted by something like that first. So, WolFix is gonna go for the nuke. We don't normally see this. I feel like it's underexplored, but every time I say something about that, people just roll their eyes. So, you know, because I'm the game dev. By the way, 2 Unars will one-shot the Shaman. If you charge them up enough, 1 Unar will do that. 2 Unars will one-shot the Anciel as well. So, I think they kill it through everything. Maybe it's just not enough, actually. Unar's OP, trust the process? Yeah, I like that. So the two embassies were initially for the artisans. They haven't really given too much up yet. Morningstar nearly armed over here, halfway complete. He could nuke the Nexus and deny it. That's what he wants to do. There is a witness moving to that location, though. Probably from the rally, though. Yeah, there's some key targets here that could be sniped. But you'll note, actually, the Eidolon count isn't so high right now. Oh, I heard... okay, no, I heard an unload. I thought I heard, like, a Trojan loading up, but nope, same sounds. Guess we could change that at some point. Protoss army roaming around, seeing what's going on. It's actually leaving just in time for the Terran army to also meet it. So any opportunity at setting up for an attack is a little bit lackluster there. He snipes the poor Mav. Where is that nuke painted? Where is he? I can't even tell where he is. And if I can't tell... Was it zoning? Yeah, I think it was. I think it was just a fake out or something. I don't know where it was. Making him paranoid? Making me paranoid. I didn't see it. Where did he do that? I wonder if that was like done by mistake or something. Well, he's got to make another one. It's a dead Eidolon somewhere, apparently. Not sure where. I don't see the corpse anywhere. I guess he could have also been trying to nuke the army or something. At the 3rd base, it was dead. Probably too late now. Witness will reveal some of these Eidolons, and they are on the front line, on the extremis of the army. Definitely don't want this. The architect count is pretty high. WolFix maybe trying to style a little bit too close to the sun here. Oh, there we go. A couple of cloned architect shots. Poor Mavericks. Okay, here we go. Cyprian drop into the mineral line. Could be good for some kills. It's almost like, you know, OyA hasn't noticed or doesn't care because he's busy dealing absolutely unthinkable damage to the bio army here. WolFix macro definitely slipping. His drop has eventually been dealt with. There's so many workers here anyway. Now he's going to stim forward and try to pop some of these units. He's going to focus down those architects, but the zealots are going to get right on top of those eidolons, and that is a big routing. I think he sniped 2. It looks like 2 architects went down. That's it. He still has that Morningstar armed. We could still see a nuke. He's got the Trojan and everything. Ancestral at the natural. I can't believe OyA just didn't like do anything to the drop and the Warden slowly killed everything. It's so funny to me. Setting up another base, going up to 5 bases for our Protoss. Terran only getting his 4th. Eidolons are just kind of patrolling. Oh, another witness goes down. They're still plenty with the army. There's 3 of them. He does need to be pretty careful about showing them to the Antseal, though. Ooh, okay. Charlatan did get wiped, I think, unless that was a Vagrant. Witnesses everywhere, just scouting out where the army is linking up to. Yeah, the Eidolon count has definitely been handled. It doesn't really give Sziky a good idea of what to do necessarily, because he's not Protoss, but OyA slamming out the units, getting things going. Ancestral almost complete. Scaling up the tech tree in a much better position than he was on Valhalla Valley. He picked this map. One disadvantage you have when you're defending after a win is that you got to get your enemy will have to pick on you. There's the witnesses as well, revealing just about everything. One shot from the Unar. Doesn't actually finish off the Antseal, but looks like it would have been pretty good to do it the second time. Jumping on these reinforcements. WolFix definitely down in the dumps when it comes to his army. He's still got a good stack of Eidolons, but is it really good as it needs to be? Yeah, you can fight that. Maybe not now, but... Oh, it did go down in the top right, so there you go. And look at these Zealots providing that vision, getting the Architects and the Unars plenty of damage. They are getting kind of cleaned up by all of the... they're getting occupied by the rally units. First stop Tecton of the game in production right about now. Are we going to see that nuke come down? That's how you know. That's how you found it. He's checking his bases. Doesn't see it. It's not going to get that much damage done. But at least he'll have the indignity of being nuked, right? That's what WolFix is counting on here. Gets that radiation field going. Stops the gas mining, clears the Wardens. But the Eidolon count is now perhaps a little bit more free to try to target down those Architects. Problem is, it's dropping very, very fast. Trying to run up and see if they can distract. Does he even know how that unit works? I'm not so sure. Eidolon count is dropping precipitously. We were at 15 earlier. Reinforcements coming in even. The stimmed Mavericks are not enough. And the artillery is just overbearing. OyA is going to finish the job here, it looks like. In complete control of the game. Yes, he got nuked. No, it didn't matter. The king has arrived. OP Tecton. WolFix has saturated his bases better, but never mind. I take it back. Saturated his 4th base better than some of the other games, but he's definitely struggling on the spending part. Tier 2 has started, but it's at the 3rd base. Not exactly friendly territory for very long. The Antseal comes back. That's going to clear out all of the detection. Maybe there's a chance that WolFix can stave this off, but what am I saying? We've got 12 Architects, and the Tecton can't even get in range. Nor does he need to. WolFix is down to the last couple of units he owns. The Mavericks are walking into death. This is death from a Terran perspective. Treasury will be melted. Sziky gives us the raid. Appreciate you, homie.
Heavy payload launched.
We are going to get another nuke, and this one will do a little bit more economic damage, but this game is over. You can have your radiation fields all you want. Look at that guy. He's got 14 health. The scribes could beat him. The scribes could beat him in a fight. The last of the Mohicans here, the last of the Eidolons, they're gone. OyA claims victory with a big old bank to boot. Another 10 bucks in his pocket as he takes the lion's share of the prize purse here that is available for him. Looking like the best player in the group after all. I was not expecting that outcome. I thought that there would be something a little bit different cooked up here. Going to be Demilune selected by Sziky to continue facing OyA, who is going to maintain control of what's going on here. Or at least try to. Fuck that one Maverick in particular. Indeed, indeed. All right, looks like that was a split decision on our betters. We ended up getting some of the homies. Some of the homies ready to go. Sziky will now have to challenge OyA. I'll go ahead and get our overlay set up and ready to go. Remember, we only have 2 more matches left. Let's see who's able to take it. As our Protoss moves to the defense, Sziky on the attack. He ends up picking, as mentioned, Demilune. This is a map that he was kind of in the lead versus Boneth, and Boneth was able to respond. So let's see if this time it's a little bit better for our Zeker. Sziky did play well in the early game, but I think he has a sense that he bungled that fight. He definitely could have won it a little bit more one-sidedly. So let's get back into it, lads. Once more with feeling. First time we had to do it in the show match, so yeah, Dog points out good progress. Still, it feels bad, though. OyA on the top left is the Cosmic Cobalt. Yeah, Cosmic Cobalt Protoss. And then in the bottom right, we, of course, have Sziky as the orange. Oh, Pumpkin Zerg. Cannoli style. He's actually going to go pool first this time. He's not getting the gas. That's kind of interesting. Jujik asks, I wonder if it's worth for P to go back to T3, T4 and do an Ardent Flood after T3, T4. Rallying Infinity Servitors in the fight would be really good. Yeah. So, like, one thing we did see OyA do really well in that control in that game was he had the Zealots and the Ecclesiasts in such a situation that they were pretty much always blocking the Protathalor's easy shots to the Tyrants. And it looks like Sziky isn't going to do what I thought he was. He's actually going to go for something a little bit different. Makes sense. Just narrowly off the mark on the Larvosk timing there, so... That's alright, though. One thing that we noticed is that since he got his economy up online a little bit later in that last game, you compare that to the way that the pool worked and such, the... I don't know, I feel like he had more Zeths out early, and that was scary for OyA. He didn't necessarily respond super well to that, but he didn't have the Vornath. He had the expansion instead. There's a lot to go for there with that. Like, you can say Sziky did really well. He did very nicely in that early stage of the game. I'm wondering if that plays into what these guys are thinking now. Second Larvosk on the way, kind of what we would have expected. By the way, the lobby chat that I was having, I didn't show you guys on screen, but they were actually pretty in sync, apparently, at the end. OyA was looking at the game, looking at the like the units with his witness, but he did not actually, he did lose that big fight on his screen too. So I was thinking, well, maybe we just call it for Sziky then if that's what happened, but Sziky said, no, go. So he wants it. Now the Legionnaire does stay alive here. Ecclesiast ends up syncing up with it. It's only the 4 Zets, which is pretty normal, but again, Sziky now going hardcore into the Quas. I do worry about this when you're going up against the Legionnaire opener into Zealot Ecclesiast, but the Legionnaire isn't going to get anything done versus the Quas, so there is that. And only the 1 Zealot here, you can overwhelm that with the units that Sziky has, making extra Quas, making his hatch. So this is actually what we need to see a little bit more from other Zergs, in my opinion, is making sure to get what they are doing done, taken care of with this hatch. It gives you a much quicker reinforcing point. Obviously lets you develop your expo. You aren't going to get contained later, even if you're like Sziky and you don't make workers until later on because you're busy making military units. Still a really good situation for you, right? Like Sziky is down 11 workers, but he's still very much in this game. A lot of investment has been put into the economy here for OyA. And now we've got a really nice surround setting up here for Sziky. And look at that. He took his mouse off the keyboard for just a second. I don't know, that analogy doesn't even make sense. But his Zealots are so surrounded here. And his Zets are busy dealing with all these Ecclesias, so he can't even help his poor front line. OyA isolated here. His Zealots bruised, so battered. Lost like 3 or 4 of them. Really nice surround there. Really nice moves. Sziky is drolling behind this. This is not a military-based all-in. 1 Zeth is loose in the mineral line. It's going to get killed by scribes, though, that were just idle fortuitously. Holding the bridge. We got 2 more Zeths where that came from. And Sziky doing a good job trying to, like, micro around and do what damage he can. Going to be able to get 1 more worker kill, it looks like. And then, once again, he's forcing the issue along the bridge. The Ecclesiasts are slowly falling. But he doesn't really have anything that can bust the Zealot health. So he will end up getting cleaned up. He did some good eco damage. Not as much as the last time, but he also has a much faster, much better worker count. Look, almost tied already. Back to Vespene mining for Sziky. Maybe a faster Lake's timing would help him out here, because the Hydra Backed is really good versus Zealot Ecclesiast, but in this kind of game state where you didn't really get much damage, you didn't slow it down, this Ardent Authority went down 30 seconds later in the last game due to the damage. So in that kind of situation, I think you don't necessarily think about the Hydras as much. But Sziky is still across the map. He's still going to dog this army a little bit with his Quas and kind of force his opponent to rethink an aggressive move out. He's setting up the static defense. He might actually need to use him this time. Last game he did not. Later third base for him as well. We remember how good that move was. One Zeth spots the army. Sziky can set up for a trap. He's going for that 6 o'clock base. A couple Zeths are going to slink on in here before the static defense is up. Ecclesiast will handle them, but he scouts the Ardent. He knows what's going on. He'll even do a little bit of heckling. Good reactions from OyA. No worries there. 8 Hydras on the way. Sziky doesn't have any other units set up here. Okay, he doesn't go 6. He goes 3. Easier to defend, but you do need to be out across the bridge. Makes your natural a little bit more vulnerable to roundabout run-bys. Shambler's rhyming message about quas into toss equals loss reminds me of, for some reason, about an Australian rap artist. Cogs, I think his name is. His alias is. Artist name. What a guy. For some reason, I'm just imagining him going, You made Quals into toss. That's a loss. And he does, yes, he does talk exactly like that in his songs. It's kind of wild. We talk trash. Okay, some Bactylisks are on the way. Shroud halfway completed. Is going to be mostly this 2-base eco. 3rd base on the way. But yeah, he's going to have to cancel those. He needs to cycle back. The eggs are not as meaty as they are in StarCraft 1. And even if they were, look at that focus fire. Still, I don't know if this is the right move here for OyA. He's going to just try to overwhelm with a critical mass of the Bactylisks, or of the Ecclesiast in the absence of the Bactylisks. But the Hydras are much better at dealing with this than Quasilisks are. Remorphing immediately that secondary circuit. We got more Quas trying to help out. No focus fire here. Sziky's Hydras are falling, but he's got another round coming. Looks like 7 of them just finished up. 5 more on the way. Drolet's trying their best. The Ecclesiast's forcing them down. Hey, it's a lot of dead workers, but you can remake those really fast as Zerg. Even though it's kind of dire right now for Sziky. He has that extra base. The Zeph is going to... Oh, it's not going to be able to block that. He didn't unburrow it in time. Now the Hydras are in enough number to deal with this attack, and he can get back to mining. But how soon does he go for a lot more Droleth? That's the question. 1 Hydra. I don't know where exactly it's going. He's going to try to heckle 12 o'clock maybe with it, but... Oh, and the Positron drop comes in. Man, what a feels bad for Sziky. GG is called. And OyA hits him with a much more concentrated 1-2 punch. You gotta feel for what might have been. I really think it would have been a Sziky dub in that last game. That is such a heartbreaker. Now WolFix will duel against OyA for $10 more. I'll sing the whole song if someone fills the dono goal. Well, I appreciate people who have donated. It definitely makes life easier. Threaten to sing the whole song if it's not filled up. I gotcha. I gotcha. Okay, guys, we're going to the Port of Knockout, Punch Drunk, for our next and final match between our players. Will WolFix end with 3 wins to his name?
Is that a fucking crow? Ah!
Ozzy Dahaki, thank you for the follow. That's a name I'd recognize anywhere. Hope you're doing well. Just waiting on OyA's ready, and we'll be good to go. Punch Drunk coming at you. The Port of Knockout for our final match here. OyA in the top left as our Vivid Red Protoss, and Cross Spawns bottom right. WolFix is our Zinwaldite Brown Terran. So we are looking at a very long one to finish us off, I think. Shambler asking about the last results. No, Showmatch number 1 was a 7-game series between OyA and Sziky. And Sziky ended up getting 3 wins, and OyA got 4. It started off dominant for Sziky, but OyA was able to adapt and do some really wild things that I don't think any of us were expecting. Including that little Mind Tyrant play, you know? That's a good one. So, in the same way that Shopkeeper Dog 4-3'd Sziky, OyA also did that. Maybe Protoss is OP. Or maybe that's just how OyA is. I don't know. And obviously, we remember what happened in the last show match. Boneth, Sziky, Ultra. Sziky stepped in when it wasn't even supposed to be him. It was supposed to be Hawk. And Ultra... he did end up having a couple of rough ones at the start. And then he found some funny strategies. Funny strategies. The game on Rhomboid was so weird. I don't know why Boneth did a forward gate, but it could have been pretty good. It could have worked out. There's that fast vestry we were talking about. WolFix still has this trouble with landing and lifting and all that. If you guys play Cosmonarchy and you know that the command cards work in a certain way, we added a submenu for the add-ons so that we can still fit everything on the screen. Don't say that, P-Sense. I can't believe you just wrote that in the chat. Unbelievable. I'm making all Peruvian replays desync for at least another month. Yeah, maybe Arbuz, you might be right about that. I guess you did like walk up and almost hit him up for one of your first tournament games because of Zealot Ecclesiast. So I guess there's an aspect of that might be true. Thanks everybody who's been joining us for our show match. There's been some really genuinely awesome games. The Battle Spectre went on a bit long, but Near Impact was a slammer. I think Valhalla Valley was pretty cool, even though it was maybe a bit one-sided in retrospect. But just the way that the evolution took place was really neat. Oh, he's expanding with a treasury again. I feel like that's dangerous. He will be making a Trojan. This is the first... well, no, this is the second time he's made the Trojan. He did the Cyprian drop in Blackwater Bastion, but a Warden killed all of the Cyprians without really any issues. So those guys do have a line trace attack. Anything that gets... like, the first target takes full damage, and then everything else takes half damage. But they don't penetrate if... they hit something with more armor. So they attack like the Sedent or the Nexus. It's going to be too much armor, right? You can rend armor with the Hurakan, the Firebat. So they end up being pretty good as a pair together. These Striders outside do not see the the Trojan there, so that's pretty interesting. Third base at the mineral only coming up here on the high ground for our Protoss player. And remember, WolFix will be super slow to scale up his eco. So I don't quite know what he's planning just yet. On the other side, OyA's actually been pretty lackadaisical about building a military. And his Ardent Authority is coming up. He's adding static defense, but he's actually going to get bamboozled a little bit by this attack. Ends up pulling the workers. Oh, tries to drill onto that one at the bottom. It's not a terrible idea. The problem is there's 3 more. So every worker going to go down here just about. 7 workers down the drain. However, the Hierophant is here to tag these guys. So there goes the Trojan. They're just sacking to kill the workers, man. Looks like 9 workers in totality will go down. I guess that might be worth. But OyA does have that 3rd Nexus. And WolFix is making workers, but it's Talos, guys. Like, WolFix is making workers, yes. But the Talos takes longer to make. They're more expensive. They're only marginally better at harvesting. So this is still a behind position for the Terran, unless they can use their extra Vespene, for example, from harvesting with them, to go for some kind of tech push. And I don't think, yeah, with the Stockades coming, this looks like it's going to be a similar style to what WolFix played before. I am indeed a Talos hater. Well, I like that they're being made. That's pretty interesting. I just don't know if this is good. That's all. I've seen a lot of Talos players, Talos enjoyers, just get bopped. But maybe this will be a bit different as WolFix is making a treasury. Whether he wants to float it or what remains to be seen. The NCL front loading. It's going to die. Oh, you could take pot shots at that Shaman too if he wanted to, but he's just going to fly back here a little bit. You'll never hear me do anything but call into question the validity of the build. I definitely don't hate on people who are doing stuff, but I'm gonna say this doesn't look good if it doesn't look good. That's definitely true. Plenty of static defense coming up around the third base. I'm guessing OyA is going to be thinking about that fourth pretty soon, and he does have the Unitary Union already on the way. Scary looking army for WolFix, but how long is it going to be scary for? Zealots, Servitors, that's a funny unit to make in this situation, but I kind of dig it. When they die, they speed things up like the Ecclesiast or the Vassals, so they can help you choose your engagement. I'm still kind of surprised OyA never went Grand Library. I guess he didn't make very many Cantavis before. I feel like he did that versus Sziky before? I don't know. Interesting. All right, we're abandoning the Unar first with a Architect instead. Capping the gas. He's looking for another Unitary when he has the money, but first he's going to set up this Nexus for 4th base. 12 o'clock. Protoss does generally tend to just kind of linearly scale across the map. They don't typically... Like, you probably skip over this mineral-only base and go for this main base, but besides that, you don't typically skip bases, right? There's a good scaling factor. You had a lot of more gateways. But we don't see that just yet from OyA. He's really good at making workers. I'll give him that. He's definitely really good at that. Maybe 3 o'clock can be a base in the future for WolFix. He's just about saturated over here for baseline, but not very much so at the third, so our Terran player definitely needs to... Oh, no. Oh, wait. Okay, never mind. I mean, it's still an oh no, but he canceled the ministry to build another ministry, so I thought he was going to make a treasury there. I feel like that would be a disaster. It's so easy to snipe those compared to ministries, in my opinion. All right, Unars are going to be made into a part of the army, it looks like. Love to see a third Unitary at some point and a Crucible. I think that really helps out. Crucibles increase your production speed by 50%, so it's a very steep cost reduction to your units. Be they chaff, or be they the artillery, the firepower. You can get away with a lot more throughput that way. Maverick patrolling top right main and nat. So Scribe will not be able to move there for free. Might have to settle for that mineral-only base, watching 9 o'clock, watching bottom left. 6 o'clock now also being taken. That one is a treasury. You can make Talos from the ministry, but I guess people probably would never do that, considering they can just make Mason. There's some niche cases where you would want to, but... There's that Crucible I was talking about. Oh, it looks like it's going to be 9 o'clock for... Oh, yeah, he's going to clear that Maverick out of there. And, you know, again, we're going to this trusty Eidolon here for WolFix. But look, his count is pretty low. He's only got 10. Maybe a couple more coming in since then, but... No, it's just 10 Eidolons. First Architect and first Unar here. This is fighting before the artillery can get out of hand for really both players. And so far, only Mavericks have been lost. Thinning the herd. Every Maverick is another 11 seconds. You're not getting an Eidolon, though, to be fair. Triple Eidolon moving off to the side. Do we have that Anvil coming anywhere? Nope. He's just going to try to use their range versus the low ground base, I guess. Now trying to range down these guys. This is so scary, man. You can't be doing this, surely. Yeah, you're baiting them into an engagement, and sure, you've got a lot of Mavericks. Admittedly, not a lot of splash damage here from OyA to deal with all those Mavs. Ironically, the Eidolons might be the bait, and the Mavericks might be the DPS, but Looks a little bit less convincing like that. Now they're trying to range down these wardens. He's going to have to pinch off like 2 zealots to deal with that. See what he wants to commit to the defense as the 9 o'clock is coming. Even if they had detection range, they would not be able to shoot back, so... Oh. Decided his own Draken didn't need those shields. Pretty big force of Mavericks moving up towards 12 o'clock, but this is going to leave the main middle base, the middle force, a bit under strength. Stim comes out. Does OyA want to commit to the fight, or does he just want to let his ranged units do their dirty work? Zealots tanking a lot of this damage. Our Eidolon count has grown a little bit. He does end up doing away with one of the architects, so that's pretty good. Unar's in the back also getting focused down. Those Zealots, though, are at such a good position. Eidolon's dropping. He's lost 5 of them so far. Those Mavericks forcing down the issue at 12 o'clock. No workers have been evacuated yet. OyA clearing a couple of the ant seals in the process. Although that is actually slowing him down a little bit. There goes in a Cantor. Gets one more shot off, and that's about it. Workers now trying to evacuate as the Zealots come in to run interference. Big reinforcement arc. That's 2 architects that could have been part of the main base. Or the main force, rather. As he loses vision, doesn't have any way to reveal the Eidolons that are still alive over here. They have been reinforced. Oh, and another architect going down. Trying to snipe the witnesses. The Antseal still in range. Assylians have come out. Probably better versus the Mavericks, to be fair. That was a colossal loss of Eidolons, it seems like. He's only got Mavericks stimming him back in. Zealots really closing the gap here, and the Assylians, they are tanky enough for this kind of stage of the game, but this is a little bit too many Mavericks, I feel like. They only have the 1 Eidolon left. Again, it is the Mavericks at the end of the day that are doing the damage. Architects are up here, but they have no chaff. 11 Eidolons in production. I'm going to go ahead and say that wasn't intentional. Noxfix666, thank you for the follow. So let's take stock of the damage here. This base is a little bit less saturated than it used to be, but we're still at 5 base for the Protoss. Sure, one of them is not the gas base. He has not capped his aquifers yet. He has taken time to remax. An Architect goes down, but the Eidolon count still being reset. On the other hand, we have barely any saturation at the 3rd base, barely any saturation really at most of these bases. And the Eidolon count is on a rally. Oh, this is even way worse than the Mavericks, man. Oh, WolFix. Oh, your poor Eidolons. Rounds up another round of Mavericks. That should shut down 12 o'clock, but at what cost? He's got no military that can stand to the might of what the Protoss is deploying. More Unars, more Witnesses. No detection here either, by the way, so the Witnesses are going to get away with a lot. Yeah, there's really only a few Eidolons left, man, and all these Mavericks are going to go kaput very, very quickly. 1 Eidolon remains off to the side. It's a desperate stim in with the Mavs to see what they can do. They can't even really get in to sink their claws into the Architect. We're talking about almost 2k damage. You combine them all together, it's well over 3,000, and I think that has just about done it. WolFix, very, very low on money right now. And certainly much lower on units. I mean, the silver lining of him not bothering with any of that silly worker construction business at the mineral-only base is that it barely affected him. So I guess there's that. He didn't really lose much income. Eidolons will mount their desperate defense back at the main base choke. But as the treasury falls, the last of the mining and the natural is certainly going to be delayed, if not indefinitely, then at least for a time. And some random reinforcements just coming in to shut down the base in the top right. OyA is all over the place. He has wrapped this one up in a neat little bow, and he will take 7 games out of 11 in the show match. Not just a slim majority of it, but a very dominant one. And that is a wrap, ladies and gentlemen. OyA has earned himself 90 smackaroos. Sziky and WolFix taking home 40 apiece. And that is all we have for the show match. Every time a race wins, can we nerf it? Yeah, that's exactly what we would expect. WolFix, thank you for participating, my friend. Appreciate the games that you brought. You certainly surprised some people with your Eidolons. OyA and Sziky included. Taking a game off of them apiece. Good accounting for yourself for your first attempt in Cosmonarchy, your first time playing. It was pretty good. Oh, you're going to be eating well? Yeah, he does like to spend his money on food, I believe. So, you know, a couple dinners or something. All right. Thanks to Neblime for joining me for part of this cast, for sure. I see Mafios in the chat. What's going on, dude? Noodles for life. I actually need to get some food myself here pretty soon. But we do have plenty of viewers on Twitch, so we will be closing this out with a raid to somebody. I don't know if WolFix is going to continue playing after, or if that's going to be a wrap for him and his chat there. Oh, I see Boneth was in the chat as well. That's pretty cool to see. Chronogo Stealth nerfed Zergenturin Kappa. Yeah. Yeah, I see DeWalt is streaming, so he could definitely use a little bit of a bump always. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the pros coming in and saying hi. Very cool. Very cool. WolFix says he's done, needs to rest. Classic move. Yeah, you guys did play a lot of games. I appreciate that very much. So we're going to go ahead and give DeWalt a bit of love. We're going to see if we want to send in some viewers from Cosmonarchy back into StarCraft 1. You know how it goes. Appreciate the follow, WolFix. Anybody else who wants to follow us, feel free to do so. We do 1v1 casts all the time. We do tournaments all the time. We actually have more tourney games to cast after this, tomorrow and the day after. So we will be seeing you guys for those, of course. And if you want to donate to the Showmatch funding for number 4, we have that open, as you can see on the screen. Made about $40 towards our $170 goal. And we got about a week to fill that up. So this is our first day of opening up fundraising for that. So I think that's pretty successful for us. Streamlabs.com/Chronogo will take you to where you got to be for that one. Appreciate that. And definitely interested to see where people go. Hey, thanks for the testimonial there, WolFix. And for sure, Ozzy, we'll be happy to have you in here. Our Discord server's pretty active. We got people making games all the time. Don't have an organized ladder yet, but we'll get to that pretty soon. I think that'll be like an early 2026 thing, probably. But we might get there sooner than we think. So big shout out to all you homies. Thank you for joining us for this here show match. We will be back next week with another one. We'll see you guys then. Raiding DeWalt, signing off.